What's good? Who with me? Let me see. Let's do a sound check. What's happening? Oh, I heard all that. I'm playing house music. I heard all that. I ain't tripping. I got to get in my mode. What's happening with everybody? Let me fix the camera. Sorry I'm late, but I'm right on time. This is my normal thing. Thank you, Carolyn Smith, for the share. Get a shout out when I see it pop up that you're sharing. What's good with everybody? Did y'all feel like y'all was at Golden Skates right there? I did. Let's make sure we good. We good? Can we hear it a little better now? My bad. Good sounds. Thank you. Appreciate it. We good? I appreciate everybody. Carolyn Smith, thank you for the share. I appreciate it. Share, tag, do whatever you want to do with it. You ain't even got to rock with it if you don't want to, but we right here. We right here. Was that from the 80s, C Breeze? He said, what song was that? From the 80s. It's called Numbers by Kraftwerk. When I was a DJ, I used to play the hell out of it. It was the song that you can mix everything to, and I used to do all the scratching and all that, and it made me a superstar in my arena of DJing. Nobody could mess with me when it came down to the ones and twos. And you can say whatever you want to say or relay that message to anybody else, but I tell you, when it came down to battling on the ones and twos, it wasn't too many in this region that could mess with me. You better ask somebody. Ain't that the old way we say? You better ask somebody. Shit, I sent ICD, all of them home from the Wiz. The Wiz came in like they, remember when the Wiz first got to Cincinnati? Anybody remember that? Anybody remember when the Wiz opened up their doors up at Swift and Cummins? It was, I never realized we didn't have a black radio station. What was we listening to? It shocked the hell out of me. I never knew that we didn't have a black radio station. Now I don't want to say old heads because y'all won't answer. But where my people at before the Wiz? Where y'all at? Because I didn't know. We used to listen to like WBLZ or something like that. Was it BLZ? There it is. Stephen Speed said it. WBLZ, yes. And they played a mixture of music, black and white. It was like crossover music, like pop or some shit. I don't know. I didn't realize we didn't have a black radio station until the Wiz came in. So shout out to the Wiz, bro. Shout out to the Wiz, because the Wiz, let me tell you, they opened up in Swift and Cummins, and I remember DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince rolling up at Swift and Cummins because they were there that first week that the Wiz opened, because y'all remember the Wiz was at the mall, right? It was in a mall. So like the DJ had a window booth that could see out in the parking lot, you know what I mean? And I had a family member that actually worked there after a couple years of them being in existence. I really wanted to be a DJ in the radio. I thought I did until I found out, the politics of radio and spinning the records. And, I didn't really want to get into it because I found out I got to play a rotation of shit that they want you to play. I don't have that type of mindset. I've never been the type of individual where that's probably why I've always worked for myself, pretty much. I can't do the same thing over and over and over and over again every day. And I just couldn't do it. They'd fire me if I worked at the Ford plant. They'd have to move me from inserting ashtrays to putting in light bulbs. I'd have to do something different every other day. Damn it, my attention span is weak. I'm just going to do so. I would get in trouble if I had to put light bulbs in cars all day on an assembly plant. It's just a matter of time before I get to doing something different. Acting a certain way, feeling a certain way, saying some shit. You know what I'm saying? Why we got to do this all day? Can't we put some blue light bulbs in? I'm going to do something that's going to make it a little bit. I'm going to be a distraction and not even want to be. All right. So I found in life that I just rather not be a repetitious type of person, a person that do the same thing over and over and over again. It don't work for me. All right. And for those that it worked for, God bless you. God bless you. I started this one off perfect because today I am going to show you how gangster rap music started. Oh, they're going to be like, oh, why? And we ain't going to talk about it long. I just want y'all to see how easily we get manipulated by gangster rap and all this old shit, and how my generation is responsible for the Sexy Reds and the rap music that we see today and all this beef and all this old goofy shit. We're responsible for that. All right. So remind me, if you don't mind, I'm going to put a note here. Remind everybody how gangster rap started. I got a video. I have a video I want to show you guys of how gangster these guys were in the studio. It's only 30 seconds long. It's not even 30 seconds long. It may be 15 or 20 seconds long. And it's going to sum it all up in one little studio visit. Promise you. Promise you. Let's see. Seabreeze says, can you start with it? Start with what, bro? What I just said? I'm sorry. I get a little, my attention span. Start with what, Seabreeze? For you, Seabreeze, I'll start with whatever you want me to start with today. I got several things on the platter. What do you want me to start digging into first? You tell me right now, Seabreeze. It's all on you, brother. It's all on you. You tell me real fast. Type it in. Don't crash. Don't wreck. I hope you're not driving. Let me see. I think I know what he was talking about. So let me gear up that video real fast. I want to talk. One other thing I'm going to talk about is 90s moms. How 90s moms used to discipline us. You know what I mean? How 90s moms how they used to act versus today's moms. I want to know if y'all agree with this. The 90s moms don't act like today's moms when it come down to, putting you on phone punishment, all that old shit that I've kind of briefly talked about a little bit. Oh, I didn't know. My bad. Let me read this comment before it gets too far. Seabreeze says, "No, I got to know the whole menu of topics." Oh shit! See, you didn't push it. See, rap first, then 90s mom. All right, so there you go. See, I see. Seabreeze, I keep saying, bruh. I don't know. Seabreeze might be a woman. I mean, Seabreeze could be either or. Yeah, I don't mean to be disrespectful, Seabreeze. I can't see your picture on your profile on my screen, so I don't want to be disrespectful. You probably know that, but all right, let's go to the rap. How about that? How rap started, how gangster rap started. I'm gonna show y'all the hardest rappers who put it all out there, who got us thinking, F the police, all that. All right, I want to show you this clip. I hope Fame Rothstein is here to see this, because Fame always want to get into a tongue wrestling match about some rap shit. You know what I mean? And let me see if I can find this thing. Let me see. Gangster rap. There it is. Who remember the group NWA? Kimberly Herbert Hart says, "Thank you. Gear up. I'm on my lunch break. I don't have long." All right. Let me see if I can fit it all in on a lunch break. I'll do the best I can. Who remember NWA? Well, before NWA was popular, actually, Eazy-E started them off. You know that. Eazy-E came out with the first records. He the one who started the label off. And what's crazy is Eazy-E wasn't really a rapper. You know what I mean? He wasn't really a rapper. I'm about to show you right here, right now. Fame Rothstein says, somebody said my name. Somebody said. That's Fame, somebody said Rothstein. That's your new nickname. Somebody said. Fame, check this out, brother. Here's your boy Eazy-E in the studio trying to be a rapper. All right, this is how that bullshit all started, fam. It started with these bars right here. Remember this? Check it out.
Jealous people, they just have fits. What you want me to scream? To put out hits. Now I want to turn up. Oh shit, man. Now I want to turn up. Oh shit. Jealous people, they just have fits. What you want me to scream? To put out hits. Now I want to turn up. Oh shit, man. Now I want to turn up. Oh shit. Jealous people, they just have fits. What you want me to scream? To put out hits. Now I want to turn up. Oh shit, man. Now I want to turn up. Oh shit. Jealous people.
I can't. Fame, I'm sure you get a kick out of that. Now that's a gangster in the studio. All that old gangster shit we heard. Flow to flow, NWA, F the police, I'm a gangster, riding foes on 6 foes and flows and all that. Come on, bro. That's trash. And we bought into it. And we still now. So don't condemn these kids today because they talking about shooting dudes. Don't do it. Y'all vouch those dudes. You vouch the Eazy-E's, the Snoop Dogs. You vouch for them dudes. They gangsters. They done promoted rap killings and all. Y'all did it. Don't blame these kids today. We could have deadened this shit a long time ago. I'm guilty. I'm not sitting here talking down on anyone. I'm guilty. I made mixtapes. I did all that shit. I used to hustle mixtapes. I was a DJ, so I would make one tape and then I would dub them and sell them for $10. It was a hustle back in my day. I had all the records in the crate. Ask my partners that come on here, Doug, all the rest of them who would go on some of my go to my shows and all that old shit. I would make a mixtape, dub it, take about 30 minutes to dub a whole tape, 20 to 30 minutes. And I would sit up all night in my grandmother's house, dubbing tapes, dub. I would sell them at school, at Withrow. I'd sell them on the bus, and I would be sold out before I even got to school that morning. I have $40, $50, $60 in my pocket. Come home. I ain't got no homework today, Granny. I got to dub these tapes, and I would put a new mixtape out every other week. So I would be selling them, and then I found out I was getting hustled because some people that I was selling it to, they would go off and sell it for $5. I was putting it out. See, I was just learning business. I was just learning the hustle of the flip. I was putting my tapes out too soon. Oh man, I tell you, boy, you can learn a lot when you do things wrong. I was putting my mixtapes out every other week. So every 2 weeks I was putting a new one out. So it was hurting my sales. I didn't realize that. So I pushed it back. You know who told me push it back? Somebody that never really was involved in anything that I did. My grandmother figured it out right away. She said, you know, at McAlbin's, they come out with a fall collection, spring collection, summer collection, winter collection. Maybe you should come out with a collection during different seasons. And I'm like, you don't know shit about business. Granny, you work at McAlbin's. And I just had to implement what she was trying to tell me. I thought about it. But what was happening, I was selling my tapes every 2 weeks. So who I would sell a tape for $10 would end up selling it to somebody else. When they were buying their tape from me for 10, they were selling the old tape to somebody else that was fresh and new to them for 5. So I'm actually losing money. You understand? I was losing money. I was selling for 10, giving that guy to get the tape for 10. He was selling it for 5 2 weeks later. He turned around and used his 5 and the other 5, give me the 10. And I'm losing money because I could have been getting 10 from the guy that was paying 5 because I was saturating the market. I was saturating the market. Now, if you really put your thinking cap on and you think the word inflation, I was creating my own inflation. I was saturating the market with money. All right. This is a very simple thing to learn. You just got to be involved in it. You got to be in the money turn in order to understand it. But that's exactly what it was. I was saturating it. I was putting too much out and I was cutting into myself. Oh, great lesson at a young age. Great lesson when I was in. There's my brother, Gary Sparks Jr. That's actually my blood. That's my blood. That's my brother. Him and I have the same father. We brothers. Shout out to you, King. We got to connect, bro. But yeah, that's how you saturate the market. That's how you create inflation. That's how you overvalue what you're doing, and you're working harder than where you don't have to work as hard. I probably could have got $15 for a tape if I would have put one out every other month versus every week. Love you too, brother. Now, y'all know I done told some stories. I wasn't gonna go here. That's my bro that I was telling y'all about. All right, he might not have seen that show, so he might have thought I was on some bullshit, but I wasn't, bro. I told the story of you and I at the spot in Walnut Hills, what we were doing, what we started. I'm sorry, bro. I do say things. It's past the statute of limitation. We're good. But remember the spot behind King of Clubs, the building? I don't want y'all to think that I'm glorifying it. I'm never glorifying some of the activities I was involved in. I don't glorify it, but I do acknowledge it. I bring it to life. He said, yeah, I know you can't forget that. Let me tell you what I seen on the radio the other day, what I listened to. Y'all know, what day was that? Wasn't that Monday? I was coming back from the airport, I believe. And do you remember, I think I think it was Monday. Wasn't that Monday? It was yesterday that Lisa Huff was in the radio station, right? Wasn't Lisa Huff? Come on, y'all. I know y'all listen to the radio. Don't be perping and shit because I know you do. I know y'all be over there sending different kind of messages that you send over here. I peep game, all right? But it is what it is. But check it. y'all got to understand. Y'all got to understand something. Lisa Huff from my day, I never fuck with her because she was dangerous. Yeah, she was dangerous. And the reason why she was dangerous because she had crazy brothers, like not crazy like loco. I mean, like they was down for whatever. But she actually, look, I'm gonna say this about her. It can get back to her. Ain't nothing but love over here, sis. But I'm just being honest with you. I am going to buy your book because I know I can't wait to reminisce. Now, I ain't talking about in the dirt, sis. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about another kind of way. Because y'all got to understand, we from the same cloth. Now, I'm going to tell you something. She probably ain't going to appreciate this. She ain't going to appreciate what I'm about to say, but y'all can tag her, tell her whatever you want to tell her. Like, but I gain respect. I respect her, but I'm going to tell you the truth. I think, quite frankly, as gangster as she was, I don't think she was a real gangster. Now, y'all might not understand what I just said when I said as gangster as she was. I don't know if she was a real gangster. Let me tell you why I don't think she was a real gangster. She ain't gonna like me for saying this, but I'm gonna say it. And I mean this with all due respect. No diss. She's smarter than that. She way smarter than the streets. She just was in the streets. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? She the type of individual that could have been a CEO of a major corporation. She's smarter than what she was involved in. How I know that is because when we were younger, I would be she might not even remember these conversations. You don't remember a lot when you're involved in certain things. But I'm gonna tell you something. I could peep, you ain't really street. You just doing what you got to do to survive in these streets. You got to play tough and be all this raw. You got to be all of that. She ain't really that, man. She could have been a CEO of a major corporation. The woman she's been smarter than everybody she's been around. She just knew how to use her intelligence to move the needle on that one type of thing, that game. A lot of people might think that I just dissed her, but I didn't. That's why she is who she is today. That's why she's trying to change up. And it's tough to change. It's easy to change, but it's hard to maintain the change. Shout out to Lisa Huff. Thanks for changing your life. A few of us really got away with it. A lot of us got, we did what we did and we knew each other. It was all love. But at the same time, a lot of people who were involved in the things she was involved in didn't make it. Didn't make it. I could talk about 5 people right now who didn't make it. Now, my little brother on here right now, and I'm going to tell you something. Our dad, our father, our real blood father had a friend. I don't know if y'all know this, but Vic, back in the day, Vic was caught in the wrong place at the wrong time. Vic was murdered. Vic was a hustler. Vic had a son my age and my brother's age. I don't know if y'all remember Sweetback. That was his son. Vic was caught. He was found up by Union Terminal on the expressway. Yeah, shot and killed on the expressway. Now, how I know who did it is because of how the execution went down. Do you understand what I'm saying? It was an execution. It wasn't no drive-by. It wasn't no. This was an organized crime hit because you don't do what you did to Vic and just leave it there and not send. They sent a message in the killing the way they did it. They cut his private part off and put it in his mouth. I know that sounds nasty and dirty, but that's real life. That's the type of people that's in that game. That's the Lisa Huffs in them. I'm not saying she did it. I know it came from out of town. She had nothing to do with that. I'm saying that's what she had to be tough around. And besides, let me tell you, how good she was at what she did as far as being tough. And y'all ain't gonna like this one either. Y'all are not gonna like this one either. She was so tough, she was taking dope boys' girlfriends. Now, somebody say I'm lying about that shit. She was taking some of the hardest dudes in the city's women, taking them. You mind now? Remember, she used to ride around in that little maroon Mercedes. Some of y'all remember. And here's where I knew I wasn't gonna ever fuck with her, because I've been telling y'all since day one, I don't do Moosewood. She could go to Moosewood. So I already knew she was off limits. I ain't messing with you. You go to Moosewood. I don't mess with Moosewood, and I don't mess with nobody that's welcome in Moosewood. Bottom line. Now, y'all can get mad at me. That's my Lisa Huff story. I'm going to buy 10 of them books. I promise you. I'm going to support her the way I know how. And that's how I know how. Now, I wouldn't support her if she was in some dirty, nasty stuff right now. I wouldn't even bring her up. But the simple fact that she's been able to change her life, and she's changing her life to the point where she is now trying to help other people. How could I not support that? How can I not support that? So shout out to you, Lisa. If you ever watch the show, you're more than welcome to come in here. Now, you got to understand there's some different shit. It's different over here. If we have a conversation on the air, we're going to have a real conversation on the air. I'm going to remind everybody of the Parktown days. I know all the little women. I know it all. I know who you didn't. I know. So if you want to come over here, hey, we'll promote the book, but I got to tell the truth about everything. Now, I ain't going to get nobody in trouble, but I know, and you know I know, and we know, and everybody cool. And here's the good thing about it. I've never been a flashy, out there type of dude. So there's a lot of shit that people, I know, but they might not know I know. Ask my brother. My brother will tell you. Gary Sparks on here will tell you. A lot of dope boys don't even know him. They don't even know me, and that's good. That's part of, bro. I guess some people do want to have that type of clout. Who want to be known for doing things that can send them to jail and all? That's goofy to me. To me, I never understood the guys that walked around with the beepers, and when the beeper went off, it was, everybody knew what you was doing. I never understood that. I was the only kid that walked around in trouble wearing a Dare t-shirt. I'd get a Dare t-shirt from the boys club, and I'd wash it at the boys club every other day and wear it through the hood. The police very seldom would stop a kid that's walking around in the neighborhood with a Dare t-shirt on. Let's move on. Let's move on. Too much schooling of the ruling. Too much schooling of the ruling. So yeah, let me mark that gangster rap off my list, because you've seen it. If Fame is still here, you've seen it. Let me move on. Let me see what I got here. It was something else I wanted to tell y'all. Gangster rap is gone. What else? I normally don't have a checklist, but I had a couple things that I wanted to. Here's something interesting. Facebook, platform that some of you are watching the show on right this minute. Mark Zuckerberg came out today or yesterday saying that he was guilty of censoring information, censoring things about the COVID, censoring stories that could have made different decisions. And it's not like a lot of us didn't know. It's not like we didn't really know that they were like censoring doctors when doctors was talking about, normal immunity, could help, could bounce back the COVID thing. Don't worry about that. This is overblown. This is not a problem. And then, you got to the point where people got to blame, they blame the president for 1 million deaths in the country, as if America is the only country that had deaths. It's just amazing how people gravitate to nonsense. And I just, it does not amaze me how Facebook could be guilty of this What amazes me is that once you find out, it's not an uproar from the people that bought into the nonsense, bought into the deception. But I'm a firm believer, like the post I put out the other day. When you fall out of love with the truth, you open the door for deception. And then when deception becomes right in front of you, you know that, that deception is deception now. You don't circle back. You don't go back and try to figure out, well, why did I listen to that? Or why did I go through that? Or why did those people lie to me? Why should I continue to believe them now? Where's the mistrust in the people that you listen to when they find out something is wrong and they spend months, weeks, and months, a lot of time lying to you? Explain to me how you still have faith in people like that. Explain to me how you still have faith in people that openly in broad daylight deceived you. I just don't get it. That one right there puzzles me. So Facebook now openly admits that they were censored by who? The government. The government came in and told them to hold up on information towards COVID, laptops, if some of y'all know those stories, things that could influence other things. The truth. If the truth come out about certain things, it would influence other things. And then here these officials come in and tell you, hold it. No. Don't let that out there. The people don't need to know that. Them people don't need to see that. They don't need to know that. Amazing. Won't even talk about it. Won't even talk about it. Something hit my mind the other day. This isn't even what I wanted to talk about. Davis Denise, I'm gonna get this one for you. I'm gonna get this one to you. I'm not a big politic talker, and I generally don't open the door about politics. But when I hear people say things like, I mean, it's the flip-flop, it's the delusion of some shit sometimes when people, you know how for years, ever since I was a little boy, I've been hearing how the court system is against Black folks, against us. And yeah, there's definitely been some scales that have gone against us, and sentencing and things of that nature. And we've said it loud, Black and proud. We've said it. Let me cue up this video right here as I speak. I just want these people who are non-believers. I'm not even going to burn you with facts. I'm not going to burn you with anything. But for those, I'm going to put it in the air for those that want to do their own research. But what I want you to see is something that a lot of people have been denying. And you could find your own stories on this because President Joe Biden tells you. All right, he tells you where to find it. All right. And where I'm going with this is this. Davis Denise, this one is for you, sis. When I hear Black folks come on the air or wherever, radio, podcast, or whatever, and they say things like, Vice President Harris just did what she was supposed to do in California. Now, I've been telling y'all for 2.5, maybe 3 years now, that there's cases pending, civil cases of wrongdoing out in California of how this lady locked up Black people. And y'all don't even do your research. You don't even care to do your research and go against the narrative of what you're talking about. But then I heard Black people saying, the same Black folks that fight and holler about they be locking us up for nothing and extending they just do us wrong. Our bonds are higher. Our sentences are higher. Everything's rah. All that old shit. I didn't heard that forever. And guess what I'm hearing now, Davis Denise? Guess what I'm hearing now? Guess what I'm hearing the reason? Guess what the excuse is? Well, those black folks that she locked up, she didn't just lock them up. They were guilty. These are the same ones that say Joe Dieters and them be locking people up for nothing, giving us longer extensions. The prosecutor's office is mean to black folks only when they white. It can't be a black prosecutor doing people wrong. It can't be that. That don't exist. But wait a minute. When I told us 2.5 years ago, like there's cases pending, there are black men suing this particular lady for the wrongdoing that her and her office carried out towards minorities in California. Oh, no, his coon ass, he making shit up. And then to this day, I hear black folks saying, well, she didn't lock anybody up that didn't need to be locked up. They committed the crime. Now, that's the same bullshit that if a white person or a conservative black man would have said about Lil Ricky and shit, you'd have been like, oh, that's some bullshit. See, this nigga, he's a coon. He's a coon. Well, let me ask you something. I'm going to stop saying what I'm going to say, and I'm going to let Joe Biden tell you how he feel about it. Y'all forgot about this one, didn't you? And this go to the people that don't really want to hear this shit. Everybody else who know what it is, just sit back one time. Listen to what Joe Biden told Vice President Harris when she was running for president and y'all wasn't fucking with her. Then wasn't none of y'all voting for her when she was going up against Joe Biden. Now she's the best thing since sliced bread with butter on it. But listen what Joe Biden said. Check it out.
When Senator Harris was the Attorney General for 8 years in the state of California, there were two of the most segregated school districts in the country, in Los Angeles and in San Francisco. And she did not, I didn't see a single solitary time she brought a case against them to desegregate them. Secondly, she also was in a situation where she had a police department when she was there that in fact was abusing people's rights. And the fact was that she, in fact, was told by her own people, that her own staff, that she should do something about and disclose to defense attorneys like me that you, in fact, have been, the police officer did something that did not give you information, would exculpate your client. She didn't do that. She never did it. And so what happened? Along came a federal judge and said, enough, and he freed 1,000 of these people. If you doubt me, Google 1,000 prisoners freed, Kamala Harris.
Thank you, Vice President Biden.
What a man.
No need for me to tell you. I've been telling you for 2.5 years, but I'm a coon. So I'm going to let your own president tell you when he was running against her. Y'all don't remember that one, huh? Nobody remember that because we seem to get amnesia. When somebody, see, I think when you get somebody get in your head to make you believe things, it tends to take away your memory as well. That's what I believe. But if you don't believe me, go look up what Joe Biden told you to look up. 1,000, a federal judge had to come in and release damn near 1,000 prisoners based on some of the decisions that her office was making, and she was withholding evidence. Isn't that the shit y'all get mad at because Joe Dieters and them do that? Isn't that? That's the same shit I be hearing some of y'all leaders talk about. That's happening to us. Oh my God. Amazing. Amazing. Black girl magic. See, you didn't believe me when I told you, man, there's several civil cases out here. There's people getting millions of dollars because of what her office did. She has to pen and sign off on that stuff. So what she was doing was the equivalence of what y'all bitch and complain about of what Joe Dieters do in the Cincinnati area, but I don't hear nothing about it because it don't matter. Where's the NAACP attacking her in California during this time? Huh? Huh? Why hasn't anyone been pulling up those cases of these young men getting 13 million for cases, 600,000? I know, I know, I already know. I don't like her, right? I'm a Trumpster, right? Listen, I tried on my way home today to do this show. I tried to listen to the radio. I cut it on. I can't even remember the craziest shit I've ever heard in my life. I can't even remember what the man said, but it was something in regards to, oh, here it is right here. It just hit me. It just hit me. I put this on my mama, on my mama's grave. I cut the radio on in the car. I'm halfway home. I was on a call. I get halfway home. I said, let me see what they talking about today. The man said that a woman bit the head off of a cat or some old crazy shit like that. I looked, I'm listening, and he said somebody bit the head off of a cat, got arrested, and had the hair of the cat on their mouth, and blah, 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 some bullshit, and then said, see, Trump then made people lose their mind. I cut the shit right off. What that got to, I mean, I cut the shit right off. I put Smokey Robinson on, and I don't even like Smokey. I hit the oldie but goodie on the satellite radio, and they had Smokey Robinson on, and I listened to that shit. I damn near fell asleep listening to Smokey, but it was better than that bullshit I had just heard. Sorry. Oh my goodness. Let me go to the phone lines real fast. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, Twin, Wyatt.
Hey, Twin, what's good with you?
Hold on, fam. Let me
Yeah, you sounding echoey.
Hey, can you hear me now, Wyatt?
I can hear you. What's good with? Yes, I can hear you, Twin. What's good with you, brother?
Oh, nothing, Mr. Late. We all good.
We gonna come in calling names. You're gonna come in here calling names, huh? Okay.
I got to. Yeah, I heard about girl Lisa a long time ago. It's at least about 15 years ago. There was a lot of stories and stuff I heard out of Cincinnati and everything. I'm like, dang.
Well, it's a small city.
It's
a small city. Your name can ring real heavy if you want it to ring.
I know a lot of gangsters came out of Cincinnati. But you know why? When I was young, remember that station, I guess it was in Cincinnati, WKRP Cincinnati, that little TV sitcom used to come on.
I remember that, bro. I still watch it occasionally.
Right, I still do too.
Yeah.
I always thought, to be honest, I know about Dayton, Toledo, and Columbus and all that, but I always thought Cincinnati was Kentucky, man, when I was little.
Yeah, I can see that.
I always thought the Bengals always was in Kentucky. Yeah, Cincinnati when I was little.
Yeah.
Until I came here, first came to Cincinnati in 2001.
Yeah.
And everything, that's when people was like, man, you can't do this. I said, I'm just busy, man. I'm dropping my sister off. Well, we don't care for what? And they had told me, I think it was Derek Turbo or somebody just got killed. And that's when they hit the taser and they was, tasing people. Some crazy stuff went on that year. I'm like, what? I say, man, this was 1950 Martin Luther King stuff. I'm gone. Yeah. I ain't with that, man. I'm from the city. I don't know what y'all talking about. So I got little in everything. I like your little skate music, man. It brings back memories, man.
Don't it? It opened up the door for some of us.
Oh, yeah. I started juking and shit at the table and shit. Yes, I had to stop in case my boss thought I was on Adderall or something.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I like it. What's
hey, Wyatt, you talked about that BS that Joe Biden was saying, but he was speaking the truth and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Wyatt, that's what I'll be screaming about, man. And people always say, go vote for her, go for that. But if y'all don't know the story and what happened and everything, regardless of 10, 20 years, she was both what the fuck she did, man. She locked up, even though some people she locked up was innocent. But come on, you ignored what you did. Now that the city got to pay out and everything, the state of California for the fucker you did. And people always say, man, it was this stuff, but they did shit wrong. We all do shit wrong, but damn it, you ain't gonna lay me down on an innocent case. I'm innocent. What the fuck you gonna give me 50 years and damn well I was innocent. But you looked over it. Just like he said that border zone arc, whatever she called. He said you control of that and you ain't got an answer to me. He said that, Wyatt, with the mask on and everything back in Biden did.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, we all know.
You control that border zone. And then people look at like, well, she don't have no really say so. How the fuck she ain't got no say so on the man head of the state and everything, the country of United States say she got control of, you ain't got to answer me unless it's a real serious problem. And then you got all the migrants and everything coming in and everything, taking over, killing people and all that, and they get away with it. But let me, a nigga like me, go out there and bang, bang, and shoot them up. I'm going to jail, Wyatt. You sit up there and let the police sit up there and let them get the fuck, the immigrant, huh?
Well, I mean, I'm listening to you, but I have to inject in certain things. All right, I don't think that the migrants can come here and just kill somebody and get away with it. I don't think that's part of the plan. I think they're getting caught, though. There is immigrant crime, and they're getting caught some, but I don't think that they have them here getting away with the crime on purpose. I think my biggest beef is I played a video last week. I don't like the fact that they're coming here, and now that I have evidence, real concrete evidence, that they're receiving money from the United States of America to do things like start small businesses. I don't like that. I don't like that. And I went up against my sister Tracy Dillingham on the air. She was talking about a different time frame than I was talking about. I don't know how many of y'all remember this, but when Tracy Dillingham and I had that conversation about migrants coming here and getting loans and stuff from the government, I wasn't talking about in 2024. I was talking about in our neighborhoods when we were growing up, because we were talking about Asian stores, hair stores, and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember even talking about with her now, today's day.
No.
Okay,
no.
But her and I had a conversation because I reached out to her. Everybody know that I reach out to people. I reached out to her and I was like, look, sis, the shit you was talking about, it didn't exist back then, but it is existing now. Here's the evidence. I have the proof to show it. You understand what I'm saying? I have the proof. So I was like, you're right, but you're right if you say it now. She said, well, I was talking about now. They are getting money. I said, well, I don't think that's the conversation we were having, a year ago. I don't think that, because I don't think they were getting that type of situation that they're getting now. Chicago, twin, is paying $51 million a month for illegal immigrants.
I already know.
They're in a deficit of over $500 million. So when it's time and they can't get that tax revenue back, where are they going to go get this money from? Do you understand what I'm saying? It starts to come out of the budgets of school, policing, and everything else. That's how it trickled down. It's a trickle-down effect. Chicago was already deprived. They were already missing a lot of things. And now you got you already got a homeless problem and a home problem, an affordable housing problem going on. Now we're adding more population to the not homeless, but the affordable housing population. And we don't have enough inventory for that. And now we got millions of more people coming into the country. And then to top it all off, here's the biggest problem we have. And you can even look at your city right now. Look at Cincinnati Metropolitan and the voucher program being cut, and they're cutting black folks off. I don't understand why we don't have a bigger problem, why we're not making a bigger issue of this. I think it's because some people staying on code. You want to talk about everything that's possible to happen, but you don't want to talk about what's actually happening.
Exactly. Hey, Wyatt, one more thing before I leave.
Go ahead, bro.
Hey, Wyatt.
Yeah, I'm here.
Look, check this out, man. Check this out. I heard on the radio earlier, you got from the lady talking about Section 8 vouchers gone, to the people over there having their house with the bed bugs and the pipes and everything else, from other things like Williamsboro Apartment. Check this, man. If your local leaders and councilmen around and you got full-blown black people, head Democrats in the council chamber, why the fuck they not stepping out? Why that community leader in Avondale, Michelle, that he put on his radio, or whatever name, Sandra Jones, why they not stepping out, Wyatt? I just don't understand. Y'all put a brand new fucking facility over there in Avondale Square or whatever and everything, but you got these people crying out with, especially them nasty bed bugs and rats and God knows what else and pipe.
Who owns that building?
I don't know who own the damn building. My thing is this. You the city council, I'm pretty sure you got complaints. If you can't get the landlord, slumlord, whoever owns, damn it, step up and do something for the people, man.
Help me out, twin. Do you have time to catch me up to what happened? Because I don't know what you're talking about. And
I heard today some people was complaining about some. Lincoln went over there and checked it out. I guess he want to, be Channel 9, check it out and see what was really going on. People said it got bed bugs and the pipes and everything, and it was all type of crazy stuff going on and everything. I caught a couple of minutes of it.
An apartment complex?
Yeah, in
Okay.
Avondale. So somebody in the chat can help me out.
Okay.
But it was something like that was going on. They had bed bugs and complaints and all that. But you got a lady that come on the radio or say we go do this for the community and everything in Avondale, and you the city council or whatever, you the president over there. Why you not looking for the people?
Well,
like people over in Williamsburg, why you not looking for the people? The damn people in Section 8, why the fuck you ain't look? You know, man, this shit crazy, man. It's some gay shit to me, man.
Okay,
that's why I don't give a fuck about them, man. On my mama, I don't give a fuck about no damn Democrats, man. They used to be cool growing up back in the day. Why? We could get shit pushed. And that bullshit, gay ass shit they got going, man, fuck them, man. Fuck them. I mean that, man. That's bullshit how people gotta go through and shit, vote. And vote ain't nothing but a fucking transaction, Wyatt. Just like you making a deposit in the bank. You either give it or don't give it or whatever. Take it or give it, man. And then put it in and put it out. If I'm going to cast my vote, this is the fuck I want. Ain't no goddamn, I'm a see and all that. No, I want this shit now. Just like you were like a bill collector and shit. Do want they shit and cut it off. That's how I want my shit. That's all what a vote is, man. I just don't understand. I just don't. Well, I'm gonna let you keep on talking, man. I gotta go.
You done?
You hear me?
I hear you.
Oh, yeah, I'm done, finishing all that, man. It's crazy. Why I swear, man, it's just crazy. All right, man.
All right, brother. Put some ice on your neck.
Man, it's hot as hell out there. I went on break watch. I can't go to hell, White. I can't go.
All right, brother. All right. Well, you spoke your piece. I appreciate you coming in. All right, brother. Talk to you. That's Twin. Damn it, man. I don't catch Twin that often on other shows. Sometimes people will record it and send it to me in my DM. And I know when I see somebody send me something and it's Twin, I know there's a countdown involved. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The new Janet, Janet Jackson countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I know it's about to be an explosion. I know that it's a storm coming when Twin get on the phone. Damn. But anyway, look, Twin, let me clear something up for you, brother. City council can only do so much. Now, I'm not big on defending people that I hold accountable. But I will come to their bat when I know certain things. I don't want them to be blamed for certain things that's out of their control. Okay, it's not fair to blame city council with how landlords do what they do, because you only have one resolution at this point. You only have one resolution when it comes down to slumlords and how people treat their properties and things of that nature. All they have is the court system. City council can't just go in somewhere saying, hey, man, if you don't paint these walls, or if you don't get these bed bugs out, if you don't get these pipes cleaned up and this and this and that, we're going to take your property next week. They can't do that. They don't have the right to do that. All they have is the court system. They can file. There's this thing that, like, here's why I don't involve myself in residential. All right, I don't know much of the laws of residential. So if somebody wants to hit me with some residential law, you're gonna kill me. You're gonna smash me. I don't have tenants that are residential tenants. I only do commercial spacing. And there's a reason why I only do commercial spacing, because all those bed bugs and all the things, or whatever the interior faults are, they're responsible for. Whatever the exterior faults are, they're responsible for. I give them 4 walls, a floor, good ventilation, and now they're responsible for the rest in a 10-year lease. All right. That's what it is. Residential, it's not quite like that. All right. You can't even write a lease up like that in residential. So that all being said, I do know that there are certain things that the city can only do so much to these landlords. I think the biggest problem you have in our cities, not just Cincinnati, but in metropolitan cities that allow vouchers and low-income housing in these properties, is a lot of buying groups, investment groups buy these properties, and then they hire bad management groups. And these companies know it. They know that they're not hiring the best guy, they're hiring the cheapest guy. But they know the laws. They know that the only thing that these people can do, meaning the city, put liens on your property for fines. First, you got to fine. It could take a year, 2 years to get a fine, put a lien. It could take 2 years to get one fine put on record on your property. A lot of people don't understand the process. You just want to blame somebody, and it's not quite easy. It's not like that. Now, that don't mean that the governor and the mayor and all those guys can't come together and change the rules and change how things are done. It could be changed. But you got to understand the process before you just say it's their fault, this, and that. Understand the process, then come with an argument that puts it on city council. That'll put it on city council. I could do that. I'd rather not do it on the show, but I can do it right now, but it'll take too long to tell y'all. But I know what to say. I know what they need to do in order to stop this shit from going on. I'll give you a perfect example. How many buildings do we have downtown Cincinnati that are sitting dormant? I'm talking about in downtown Cincinnati, the business district. Got quite a few. Look at the mall downtown. Look at all those buildings downtown. I was talking to my wife last night, and I was going to go over this with you guys. I was talking to my wife last night about what I'm going to do in Shreveport, what I'm looking to do in Shreveport, Louisiana. I have ties in Shreveport, in Louisiana. Okay, I have ties there. I went to LSU University. I went to LSU. I lived in New Orleans. I have ties there. So I had a serious conversation last night with my wife, knowing what direction I want to go to in Shreveport. I'm going to put you in on a little game, a little secret. Cincinnati actually has more to offer than Shreveport does for me. There's more development that could be going on in the city of Cincinnati. The problem is the development is not happening. There's just as many dormant buildings downtown. I shouldn't say just as many, but there's enough buildings in the city of Cincinnati that's sitting down there for opportunity to happen, but a lot of people don't reach out for it. A lot of people aren't on it. They'd rather sit back and bitch about 3CDC than to go down there and get some Reese-Peasy. You understand what I'm saying? They don't know how to go get it, so they talk about those that do go get it. But to be honest with you, if you put a business plan together, submit it to the right people in the city of Cincinnati, you probably be doing pretty good. But I think you have a clear understanding that you would be risking something. And then now you got to rely on the support of your community. Now that's the bigger fight. Try it and see what I'm telling you is not to be true. The biggest fight that you have is not getting on board and the city doing something for you. It's, do you have the confidence that your city will back you, support your business? That's the bigger question. And I think some of y'all know the real answer. Go to Shreveport. I'm going to Shreveport. I am going to do what I do. There is opportunity. You can buy units. You can buy single family homes. You can buy duplicates. You can buy whatever you want to buy. Tax abated property. Here's the bigger difference. That particular area is in a redevelopment phase. They're in a redevelopment phase. So city council and the city, the mayor and the city, the city manager, they're all open to ideas. I said this a long time ago. Why don't somebody go piece out a piece of land that's already pre-developed, it's already there, the infrastructure is there, and you build around the existing infrastructure, and you bring what we've always been talking about, that equity. You build equity. Equity is never given to you. You build equity. Nobody's just going to hand you equity. And when we learn to do that and you learn to take these opportunities, you got enough equity in Cincinnati. It burns my ass to hear people talk about we don't have any equity in Cincinnati. That's because you're not trying to get it. There's equity sitting down in Cincinnati. Hell, you can build equity going downtown, renting a 3CDC building right now. You can build your book of business. That's called building equity. You don't have to go down there and buy a $300,000. You can, if you could go down there and buy a building from the city of Cincinnati for $1. Do you have the $500,000 it's going to take to reconstruct it, to rebuild it, to redo it, to rehab it? Do you have the 500 grand? Why not let 3CDC drive that shit? It saves you $300,000. My God, it's not that hard. It puzzles me. It bothers my my mind when I hear all this talk about no equity. You build your own equity. It's up to us to spend with us. Let me go to the phone lines. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
What's up, man? It's Ron.
Hey, Ron, what's going on? Ron, long time no... Ron, no, long time no talk to, Ron. I thought you cut me off, brother.
No, I thought you cut me off, but
yeah, that's right.
I ain't gonna go there.
Wait, you thought I cut you off?
Yeah, I've been calling for a
wait a minute,
hold on.
Let me get this straight. You felt like I cut you off because when the show starts, I don't pick up the phone and call you? Is that me cutting you off?
No, because you left me on hold for a couple times. And you ain't get to me. Yeah.
Well, Ron, I don't remember that. I'm not saying that I didn't. Hold on, let me explain myself. And I promise you, I promise you, I'll give you all the time you need. Ron, I don't remember that, but I'm not saying I didn't do it. There's been a couple times that I do remember at the end of the show that I didn't put 3 hours, 3.5 hours in. Somebody a call right at the end and I'm soaking dry. I'm ready to, you know what I'm saying, bro? I don't have any more in me.
Yeah, I ain't stressing that. I ain't stressing it. It ain't.
Okay.
It ain't no problem. I'm just
we Gucci? We Gucci.
Yeah.
All right.
But I wanted to point something out. And I think I'm sorry. No,
I said you said,
I wanted to point
we Gucci,
out.
but.
No. I just wanted to point something out.
Let's go.
And I think I think David Denise chimed in on it earlier, but it's a trip. Nobody's talking about that building that the Venezuelan immigrants took over.
What building?
In Aurora, Colorado. They took over a 90,000. They took over a 90-unit building in Aurora, Colorado. The Venezuelan gang, a 90-unit building.
Okay.
Holding them hostage, but just like the car, they collecting rent and they ain't forwarding it to the landlord. The landlord went to the FBI and he went to the local authority to try to get the Venezuelan gangs out.
So wait a minute.
But they can't get them out because of Sparta's right.
Wait a minute. Let me get this right. Let me get this straight. Let me make sure I understand this clearly. Are you telling me that Venezuelan gangs that have been formed in another country are coming here and doing what they do? Because that's what they do in Venezuela.
Yeah.
So that's what you're trying to tell me. You're trying to tell me
what they do.
You're trying to tell me
what they do.
Yeah. You're trying to tell me that corrupt individuals are coming here in this free country and just doing corrupt shit. Is that what you're trying to tell me?
The car. The car. They just done took it over. Now.
You say they not sending the rent to the landlord. How is that possible?
I'm sorry?
How are they not sending the rent to the landlord? These people aren't paying rent.
Oh, they paying rent, but they paying it to the Venezuelans.
Wait a minute.
Took it over.
So they paying dues. They see that's a difference. Y'all got to understand. Yeah. You might not understand how this shit works. Yeah. So their rent is being paid by the government, but the individuals, the residents, are paying dues.
Boy, look, I bet you they paying them twice. I bet you Section 8
I don't know anything about it.
Called in the role, but
I don't know anything about it.
I bet you the government paying them, and the people paying the Venezuelan gang.
Okay, well, I don't know anything about that. I have to admit it. I don't know anything about it. I'm not suggesting that you're not telling the truth. I'm not. I just don't know enough about it to comment. I don't know how that's possible unless what they're doing is, say, for instance, I own a bakery, twin, and I own a bakery in a building, and you're coming by. I still pay my rent because maybe I'm subsidized. So the government is getting the landlord is getting my money through my subsidy, okay? But yet you come knock on my door and tell me I got to spend I got to pay you $100 a week for me to be here, or else. See, that's paying dues.
Paying dues.
That's paying dues.
Yeah, they paying dues.
Okay.
But see, my thing about it is, and I've mentioned this, I've been mentioning this for the last 2 years. They trying to create chaos in our country. And they doing a real good job. you know, of black folks fighting against black folks, you know, worried about white folks, and they ain't doing nothing to it because they banging up the white folks that they banging up, you know, and it's ridiculous that, you know, people are still trying to, and I'm gonna, you know, go back to Kamala Harris because, you know, it's this administration's fault that we're in the situation that we're in, and everybody trying to look past what the fuck we in. Like we ain't in, in a pickle. we got wars overseas that we involved in. We have wars overseas that we involved in. We in a secret war with China and trying to take out our infrastructure and everything from within, and ain't nobody talking about it. Like I said, you know, they took over an apartment building. They took over an apartment building in Aurora, Colorado, and nobody's doing nothing about it. Now, it's been on the news. I didn't see it on the mainstream news. I didn't see it oh no, I did see it on Fox. But I didn't see it on MSNBC and CNN and all that other stuff, the mainstream media that's banging on Trump and, you know, doing all this other stuff. You know, my thing is, we ain't paying attention. We ain't paying attention. And if we not paying attention, we gonna get ran over. You know, ain't nobody kidding out here. You know, and if something happens, and anything can happen right now, because, you know, anything can happen right now, and anything gonna happen. You know, it's just a matter of time. But we have to protect ourselves if we ain't doing nothing else. I'm not banging for Trump and doing that because I'm just, you know, a die-hard Trump fan. I know that Trump has the ability, or Trump can make the decision to give us more time. I'm just trying to buy people time. People need to get more time to get our shit together, because all of us in the same boat in this situation. And the migrant crisis created a whole nother dynamic, and we have not seen what it caused right now, but we will see it by 2025. And if Kamala gets back in here, it's more of the same. And if everybody, you know, if everybody is okay with, you know, what where the country is going and what is being done to the country, you know, and if they're okay with that shit, you know, it's okay. I know I'm gonna be all right because I know what I'm willing to do in order to make sure I'm okay. But everybody ain't willing to do what I'm willing to do. But everybody gonna have to do. You know, it's just a mess, and we need to buckle up and, you know, just have some sense about this election right now. We just need to have some sense about the election, because this is our last hurrah. Black folks, we counted out. After this election, black folks are insignificant because all those immigrants, they voted Democrat from now on. So we're insignificant after this election. And
I think there'll be some people.
Sure, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Ron, I'm going to give you all the time you need, but I just want to say this. I think there's some people that'll differ with you on that because of the symbolism that's going on right now. You got to understand.
I know they're going to do.
They're caught up in making history, okay, and that's more important than like the story that I just did. Well, the debate. Did you see that part that Biden actually said? Yeah. But that's not gonna matter. Listen, look, I can't tell you, how to be, brother, but I will say this to you. All you can do is put the information out there, man, and then you got to just sometimes you got to, sit it down and walk away and just let it be. You know what I'm saying? You can't, get in your feelings. I'm not suggesting you're in your feelings. I'm saying
that's my feelings. That's my feelings exactly.
Well,
I ain't really trying to argue about it no more. But I make my opinion known.
You're not going to change.
Put information out there, and it is what it is. Because again, I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be good regardless of what happens.
Well then, then it's, you know what, bro? Then let that be what it is. Then, you know what I'm saying? Like, here's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to prolong your life a little bit, because sometimes, bro, I really think that you be ready to blow a gasket trying to make yourself clear to people. And sometimes, bro, they running game and circle and whirlpooling and all that old shit with you. And I hate to see that type of stuff, because I think generally, Ron, I think you're coming from a good place in the heart. All right, I really think that.
Oh, I know I am.
Well, I could tell, but I just think that sometimes, you're making points, and then, sometimes your points might have other things that people can branch off of, and then take you away from your point, take you away from the point you're trying to make. And now it's about something different. And, you can't beat people like that. I mean, you got to
I beat their ass to death. They don't want to admit they beat.
No, Ron, I'm telling
you. I don't give a fuck about my delivery.
Ron.
I don't. But look, I look. It's a trip, man.
Ron.
I am who. Listen. I am who I am. And it's a trip. Because, like I said, about a year ago, almost a year ago, I go by Ron D. But, and I go by Ron D because I got a business to run, and Lincoln Ware put my whole name out there trying to be funny about a year ago, 2 years ago, something like that. But, it freed me because, everybody know who I am. Everybody know what I do, and my thing is, I don't have to hide. I don't have to do, I don't have to, kiss nobody's ass. I am who I am. I don't give a fuck what nobody thinks, I try to do what I do and give what I give. Well, the way God, tells me to do it. If nobody, if they want to criticize me because I talk about God and I cuss, then you fucking ignorant, because you just don't know nothing about God, because he ain't worried about what the fuck my cuss words look like. And that's why I said that, and other words, and otherwise, take what I tell you, or don't take it, and keep on living. Because the shit that I said 2 years ago, that shit is right now. The shit that I said 2 years ago is we dealing with that shit right now. And what I know is what we'll be dealing with 2 years from now if Kamala Harris get in office. If we don't just get a chance to catch a fucking breath, because Trump ain't gonna be no better. He ain't gonna be no better. He'll be better with being able to get our situation together. But he's already inheriting a mess. So it's gonna be a mess. So it is what it is, and I'll say what I say, and you take it for what it is, or don't take it. I ain't doing nothing but, like you said, trying to be a good brother and spread some information. And you look like you disinterested. What's mine?
Because I've heard you say this 1,000 times, bro. I'm not mad at you. I'm listening. Don't I not sit here when Twin talking and callers call?
Yeah. Oh no. I just wanted to see, you seem disinterested, and so if
I'm
you
letting
heard
you
it
get. I'm letting you get, bro. My bad. My bad. Hold on, Ron. My bad.
No, I do that. I do that sometimes. So
let me give you
I'll let you talk.
Ron.
I'll let you talk, man.
Ron, let me get bro.
I'm sorry.
You need bro, come on now. Let me give you something to make you feel better, because this is the harm when people speak.
I'm cool. I'm just trying to, you said you heard it all before, and I do, and I repeat myself. Myself a whole bunch. So
I'm engaged, bro, but I'm just sitting here looking. I'm reading comments while you're talking. Can I, bro? That's all it is. Like, I'm doing 4 things at one time, brother. Don't get mad. What you?
Oh, no.
You want me to be sitting on the edge of my seat because of the shit you talking about right now? And I don't mean any disrespect, but sometimes you preaching to the choir when you're talking to me. I understand you probably more than most people that's listening to you. So don't look at me like I'm tripping on you or I'm disengaged or something, because I'm not. I hear you because I've heard it before. I'm the one who just told you that I think you got a good heart, but I'm reading comments while you're talking.
Oh yeah, I'm cool. Oh. I'm just saying I'm gonna let you get at it, because I know I be repeating myself. So I'm gonna let you get at it.
Okay.
Hello?
All right. I mean, listen, Ron, I know what you're talking about, but like sometimes it's just a lot. It's a lot of different things rolled up in one, bro. I can't smoke that much. You feel me? I can't. Yeah. I can't smoke that much. Like I'll let you. Yeah, no, I'll let you say what you say. I just can't dive into. I mean, where you want me to start on what you're talking about? Give me something to work with. What do you want me? No.
You know what? I was just pointing out something, and like I said, I'm redundant sometimes, but I'll let you get at it. Because it needs to be talked about. You talk about it.
Okay. All right.
I ain't gonna be clicking and cussing and all that shit, like I normally do. I just ain't in the mood, and I'm cool.
Good. I mean, listen, bro. Look, I give everybody the opportunity to feel how they want to feel and say what they want to say. I don't want to take your thunder away, and I don't want to, no pun intended, but I don't want to take your thunder away, nor do I want you to feel like, even people that disagree with what I'm saying, if they want to come on and say, be passionate about what they say, feel free to do it. I mean, I'm just giving you your time, brother. That's all. I mean, I just want you to stop trying to convince people so hard. I mean, I know it's passion, but I think that it's not good. I just don't think it's good. I hear you talk sometimes, and I just don't think it's good. And I'm saying that I'm trying to save you from yourself. That's all. I just think that a lot of people, you're not going to be able to save everybody. A whole bunch of
people done tried, man. And people, people tell you, well, there ain't nobody pretty much tell you, because I only fuck with my family. The people in my house. I don't fuck with nobody else. So can't nobody tell you. But plenty of people done try to, quote unquote, save me from myself. But I'm just me. Me.
All right, bro.
See, that's why
I respect that. So I'm gonna let you continue in your path of whatever you got going on and how you express yourself to people, and you continue to do what you feel is best for you when you're trying to get the message out of whatever you're trying to get out. You see what I'm saying, bro? I have no place to tell you how to do that. You understand what I'm saying? I just felt like I would mention it to you 1 or 2 times, and then now I gotta kind of let you be,
Hey, Wyatt, but you done mentioned it to, like you said to me. You done mentioned it to me several times before, and I feel you. But again, I just say I'm who I am, man. I just say I'm who I am.
Well, we appreciate you, Ron. I do, and several other people do.
Hold on, just a minute, Wyatt.
You didn't get it all out.
It ain't the drugs, Ross. I'm in pain, nigga.
Okay.
I see you, Wyatt.
All right, brother. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for engaging with us. I really appreciate you. I really do, Ron. Thank you.
All right.
All right, bro. Let me go to the next caller before I move on to the next thing. I do want to get into these 90s moms. That'll take me about 5 minutes. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Excuse me. It's Fame Rossi. How are you?
Good afternoon to you, brother. How you doing today?
Outstanding. Hey, listen, did y'all say something about Angel Reese earlier?
No, that was no. Unless you read it in the comments, I haven't said anything.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen her.
I read it. Somebody said something about Angel Reese in the comments. Because she teamed up with Reese, the chocolate maker.
I did read that she got an endorsement deal with Reese Cup, which is the Mars company. I did read about that. I didn't read the full story. I just seen the headline. I don't know the intricacies of the deal or any of that. But congratulations to that young lady if that's the case.
Yeah, because it won't be just candy bars that she, they're like, she's like with apparel and everything.
Yeah, I think it's clothing and purses and things. It's gonna be women, I think lady attire, purses and shoes and things of that nature.
I got the perfect branding opportunity for her with them.
Oh well, she might want to connect with her people then.
Yeah, they need to be listening. If y'all know them, send this to her. Send this to them.
Say it.
She should come up. She should come up with the Angel Reese's bras.
Bras?
Yeah. There's ears, yeah.
Okay. It take me a minute. I'm slow to the beat sometime, bro. You got to enlighten me a little bit. Angel Reese bras from Reese Cup?
Yeah. Exactly. Because that's what she'll call them. Her bras will hold in the Reese Cups.
Okay. I think I see where this is going. Yeah. Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well,
What's you flush the toilet for? Why you flush the toilet for?
Flush the toilet. That was the crowd cheering.
Oh, no, I thought you were shitting on me. Okay. Thank you. I just think, that would be hot. Like that would be catchy, some Angel Reese bras to hold in the Reese Cups or something like that. I'm sure they could you know what I'm saying? They could make it more marketable and whatnot. That's just on the top of the head. I just saw that written and I was like, you know what? That would be hot.
Okay. Well, I do admit, I will. I can hear myself in the background there, Fang. I will say that I want to just say that I'm going to congratulate her for her, her deal that she has with Reese. But I think they're going to do a little bit more better than bras, bro. I think they're going more for the track and field type of look with Reese Cups and Reese Pieces and stuff like that. Sort of like how when we were coming up, we wore the Coke clothes. Remember when we wore Coca-Cola? And I think they'll probably go down that lane a little bit more so to make it cute and jazzy for women, I think. I better not see no dudes wearing no Reese's Pieces and no Reese Cup shit from Angel Reese. I better not see that.
That's how bra sizes will be in Reese Cup sizes. Yeah, I'm telling you, there's something there. They just haven't put it together yet. However, you were talking about the Easy E joint.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know what you wanted me to see with that. I just saw an artistic person trying to do something artistic and was failing at it. It happens.
That art, huh? You call that art?
Yeah, I mean, I said unartistic. Rap is art. Rap is art. The spoken word is art.
Well, let me ask you something, Fame.
Most of the first New York rappers, they went to like a famed school.
Well, okay. Let me ask you a question, bro. It's pretend because I'm running up against the time, so I want to get this one out real fast. Let me ask you something. Us being hip hop historians, both of you and myself, let me ask you something. Are you an artist if you repeat the words that someone else wrote or someone else created? They created it, and you kind of read the words and put it in the microphone. That makes you an artist? I'm curious.
Well, there is an oral component to it.
Okay.
Reciting,
good answer.
reciting of something. Yeah.
Good answer. I'm gonna ask you
this. For dramatic effect. Yeah.
Let me ask you this. If I am an artist, a true artist, a painter, and I do a drawing, and then I put numbers on each one of the. I section it out and I put a bunch of numbers. And the 1 is red, the 2 is black, the 3 is green. You remember those little things we used to do back in the day? And you would paint into the lines, and it would have the numbers in there, and you would paint. I don't know exactly what it's called, but you would paint inside the numbers, inside the lines. You would trace. Is the person
No,
who,
by the time I got to school, they had computers. By the time I got to school, I don't
okay,
know what you were talking about.
this wasn't a
You know,
school
them old
thing.
niggas you went to school with.
It wasn't a school thing, actually. It was just a thing that we used to do at home, where when you was at home, or you would learn how to, what they call it, number paint. You know what I'm saying? It was number paint, where you paint let's say you paint a parrot, and all the numbers that was red would be number 2. I think people in here know what I'm talking about. My point is, because you can paint in the numbers and inside the lines, don't make you an artist. You understand what I'm saying? All you did was paint where somebody told you to paint. That's not your artwork.
Yeah, but if you can stay inside the lines, you are artistically inclined, which showed that Eazy-E clearly isn't.
Well, that was my point. My point was
couldn't rap on beat, couldn't, keep a constant pitch and tempo.
So he's not really an artist. He's more of a I would say it was more business oriented for him than it was being an artist. He wasn't expressing himself. That's for damn sure. He wasn't expressing himself. Ice Cube was writing all that. But that all being what it is, bro, it still was something out there to put into the community to make us feel a certain way, and it pushed an agenda. You understand what I'm saying? It created what we are dealing with today.
Oh, no, you're 100% accurate. I think the powers that be saw the power of this urban, this new urban music known as hip hop, rap music, and said we gotta flip it. People much smarter than us, saw that and was like, yeah, we gotta use the way to use this turn this into a negative, to cripple a generation or two of black youths. Right. And they did it.
So let me
remember it was you and I generation who openly supported Tupac Shakur calling a sitting congresswoman a motherfucker on a record. We thought that was the lavish shit ever, but looking back, we owe those people an apology. Not just out of human decency, but they were kind of right.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I mean, sometimes you have to listen to people that go against the grain of what our agendas are and the things that we believe are right. I mean, there's so many lessons in this world where we were wrong and we followed our own path, and here we are paying the cost of it. I mean, you could say that in the political world. You could say that in our day-to-day business lives. You can say that in how we raise our children. There's just a lot of blueprint out there that we just totally ignored. And there's a lot of stuff out there that you can see where the destruction began, and we just totally ignored it. And a lot of us were scared to go against the majority. And most people that are afraid to go against the majority, they either are silent or they join the majority, finding a place. You know what I'm saying?
And truth be told, that 30 years ago, if you think about it, that's when they kind of started. That's how the powers that be were involved, because that's when they started kind of pushing, letting the youth have a bigger voice. And again, the black community is the only community that stresses letting the women and their youth have voices. And pushing them out there. No other community, the Latins, the Jewish community, none of those other communities do that. Just us.
Well, yeah, we all have our cultural ways of dealing with things. Matter of fact, as soon as you get off the phone here, I got a video I'm going to show the difference between 90s moms, in 1990, and today's moms. I don't know if moms are the same of what they used to be. Probably some of the sisters here say, nah, they not raising them like we was raised. But I'm curious to know. And what we'll do is we'll probably talk about that tomorrow, Fame, if you don't mind. I'm at the top of the hour, Fame. You got anything else before I get out?
No, I'm going to launch this half-court three-pointer for you.
Wait,
beat the shot clock.
Wait, Fame. Before you go, I got to run a number down for you. I know you're a numbers guy because you play, you into the betting game. I wanted to do this for you. Shreveport is 56% black. Okay, I'm doing this off memory. I'm gonna do the best that I can. I know some of the numbers, but I don't know them all. Shreveport, Louisiana is 56% black. There's roughly 105,000 black folks in Shreveport. It's 37% white. Okay, it's 3.5% of other, and it's 1.5% Asian. Okay, it sounds like it's a place that I'm going to try to go. There's 200,000 population. Okay, I just want you to do those numbers in your head and in your mind. As a black man, as black folks, if we can go somewhere where we're the majority, there's no excuse of why we can't be successful, because that means you'll start spending money within. We have no excuse of the other man taking the money, because if you talk about the Asians, they only have a 1.5% population in Shreveport. You understand? That must be the only freaking wig store in town. All right. If you look at the if you look at the others being Latino and the Arabs, people like that, they're not significant in that area either. We hold a 56%. We have 56% population rate in Shreveport.
Right. It sounds like what Curtis is trying to do, because he's partnered with Perry. He's going to turn Shreveport into Atlanta West.
Well, it's
you know what I'm saying, and it like that. It'd be the West version of Atlanta, the new Black Hollywood or whatever they call it on the low.
It's a possibility. I think it's a great opportunity for those that may want to explore. My real estate agents, what's up, Tiffany Daniels? I would explore maybe possibly getting licensed in the state of Louisiana, real estate license. My bookkeepers and things of that nature. My store owners, people that do other things, Uber drivers, a transportation service, all of that stuff is wide open in Shreveport right now. You can't get in later. If you're going to get in, you need to plant your seeds right now. All right, Fame, I appreciate you coming in, bro. What else you got?
Okay, yeah. No, that's all I got. Go ahead and finish up with the joint, and I'll holler back at you soon. But until then, y'all be safe.
That was Fame Rothstein. I'll give him a horn for that. He came in not arguing. All right, before I get out of here, I want to play this short little clip. This clip right here, I guess it'll lead us into what I want to talk about tomorrow. I didn't get a chance to talk about 90s moms and how difficult and how tough it is for moms to raise sons. I want to give some homage. I want to give some praises and some support to my mothers out here that raised sons like my mother did. I know it was tough for you, Mom. Rest in heaven. I know it was tough for you, Granny. Rest in heaven. And I know it's tough for my single mothers out here. I know it's tough for you. But I just had a question. Are they raising kids like they used to raise them in the 90s when we had the phone lines at the house? Check this clip out. We'll talk about it more tomorrow. Check it out. It's a short clip, but have fun with it.
Girl, nothing. She walking around here, call herself having an attitude because I won't let her go up the street.
Why she can't go up the street, girl?
She thinks somebody don't know that she call herself liking what's that boy name? Mika's son.
About, the youngest
yeah,
one.
girl.
What's his name?
Yeah, I don't know his name. Daryl, the Dion.
His name is Deron.
What's that?
Ooh,
His name is Deron.
Hold on, girl. Look here. I don't give a damn what that little boy name is. You hear me? I don't care if his name was the Lord. Don't get your teeth knocked out on the floor. All up in my conversation trying to correct me about some little nappy-headed little boy that you ain't gonna know exists next week. You better get your butt up them stairs and get to the books. Girl, this heifer almost done lost her mind up in here talking about his name is Deron. Like I'm supposed to care.
Like somebody's supposed to care, child. She tried.
Girl, to get her face knocked in. Get on up them stairs and get out my face. His name is Deron.
Peace and love to everybody. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time. We'll talk about it.
F50. Shorty, you ain't gotta take it talk, just move to the side. If you wanna ride on the roller coaster, baby, come on and ride. It go up and down and round and round. Stand up or get on the floor. It's on tonight, I know what you like. I know just how to. Good evening, ladies. I tell you from the start, I'm hoping you enjoy my amusement park. There's lots of activities, fun things to do, and I'll find my pleasure in pleasing you. Some rides go fast, some rides go slow. You fear heights when I go. It tastes so sweet, that sticky cotton candy. We get carried away, we be starting a family. It's a perfect time for a magic trick. Girl, you know it's no fun without the magic stick. Now watch me, as I pull a rabbit out of hat, then you can use the all over your applause. Now that's the first half of my act. Started out a pimp, now I'm more like a Mac. I don't need your paper, just don't with my stacks.
Oh, it's like that?
Yeah, it's like that. I take talk, just move to the side. If you wanna ride on the roller coaster, baby, come on and ride. It go up and down, and round and round. Stand up or get on the floor. It's on tonight, I know what you like. I know just how to. Now you can put the horse around the carousel. Explosions all in the hotel. Put me to the test, girl, I don't fail. I work it out, without a doubt. There's plenty water rides, I'm sure to get you in the pop. Hey, it's considered an art. Throw a hoop around the bottle, I'll be a teddy bear. Whatever color you like, you know I don't care. I really wanna thank you for attending this affair. Not gonna encourage your friends to come have fun here. I smile when I speak, but I'm being sincere. And your past is valid, all some of mine there. So at your convenience, you can always return. There's so many tricks to the trade you should learn. That lollipop, forget that did not stop. I take talk, just move to the side. If you wanna ride on the roller coaster, baby, come on and ride. It go up and down, and round and round. Stand up or get on the floor. It's on tonight, I know what you like. I know just how to.
Mic check, mic check. Anyone still here? Let me just ask the question. Mic check, are you still here? This is why they should listen to the outro. Are you still here? Remember back in the day, we used to do this thing called the after show? We used to do this thing called the Wyatt Live after show. And right after the show, this was the first year, probably the first 6 months we started. I used to do this right after the show. And I would have a conversation after the show called the Wyatt Live after show. I think I'm going to try that right now, right here, real fast. Who with me? Let me know if you're still here. All the ones that jumped off and left and all that old shit, that's cool. That's Gucci. That's good. That's green. But this conversation is usually a little bit different. Remember that? I would take questions. People would have not so much personal questions, but, you know, sometimes people would ask personal questions because they didn't want to know. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. Is this the Lisa Huff that just checked in? Sis, you might want to go back and listen to the beginning. I want to talk to you. I need you to come on the show, but I need you to listen to the first part just to see if you really want to come in. I need a book or two. I really do. I need your book. I will be getting that. But none of the questions that was asked to me were personal. hit my DM, Lisa. Hit my DM. We got to talk because I spoke of you today. So go back to the beginning of the show when you get a second, sis, and check it out. Don't be mad. It's all love, sis. It's all love. I promise you, it's all love. You know, I had mad love for you back in the day. I respect you more now than I ever have. Promise you. Yeah. People used to ask, some personal questions, but they didn't get out of frame with it. And the reason why they didn't get out of frame with it is because what we used to talk about, the things we were talking about, the information that I was sharing, and, you know, some opportunities and things of that nature. So I'm going to do that right now for about 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes. Anyone have any questions? Phone line is open. It's only a few of us here. Anyone have any questions that you've always wanted to ask me, since it's only a few people here? It's only a few. It's only a couple people here. Anybody have any questions they want answered? I'll take it. And since it's not that many of us actually watching, I might just be a little raw with it. I might not have so much diplomacy like I normally do when we on the air. So, are there any questions? So the silent folks stuck around. The loud people left. Here's what I think. Oh, okay, there's a question. From Ron, of all folks. Ron, no, I'm sorry, Twin. I'm sorry, I thought it was Ron. I read it wrong. My apologies. Twin says, Randall Wyatt, why these black politicians pump fake community so much? Wow, what a question. Oh no, Ron did ask a question. They're on two different screens. Ron did ask a question. I'll answer both, but let me take Ron's that came first. Ron said, I want to know what it is that you actually do. As far as what? For a living, what my purpose is on the show, what is it exactly that you want to know? Okay, now see, it just popped up. The question just popped up on my screen. I want to know I want to know what you actually do. I don't know. When you say what I do, what do you mean? Like for a living, Ron? Or like, be a little bit more specific. I promise I'll let you have it. Okay, just go to, Lisa says, fam, I'm not that sect. Just go to the beginning of this when it's over. Like go to my Facebook page and just hit the picture. Once this ends, okay, fam? Once this ends, it'll automatically take you to the beginning. When you go to the Facebook page, just hit it. Just hit it like you watching me for the first time. See what I'm saying? Just make sure it's today's date. All right? Nothing but love, sis. I promise you. Nothing but love over here. I think you're going to find what I said interesting. It might be true. You might cuss me out and be like, that shit ain't cool. That ain't cool. No, that ain't me. Because you don't have to do what you used to do. You don't have to be that. You know what I'm saying, sis? But I told the world, those that were listening, that you're smarter than the streets. You always been smarter than the streets. That's what made you good at the streets, because you're smarter than them. So go find it. You'll find it, sis. You'll find it. You'll find it. But listen, okay, Ron did come back with it. He said, a living, and I know what you do, bail bonds, but I don't actually know what you do, like investment part. Okay, so I'll give you a little bit of my history. Ron, you already know I was born and raised in Laura Homes. I was literally born in Laura Homes, the floor of Laura Homes, 1335 John Street. Now, I was what they called a troubled kid. I ain't gonna go that far back on you, Ron. I don't want to bore you. I got through elementary school. I got through junior high school. I got through high school, but high school was rough for me, Ron, because I went to 4 different high schools. No, actually, 5 different high schools. Only one of those high schools was in the city of Cincinnati. And that was Withrow. That all being said, when I graduated in Europe. I graduated high school in Europe. I went to my first university that I ever went to. I went to Hanau High School in Germany, right? Then I ended up in Munich University. That's in Munich. All right. I did 2 years in Munich, got my, pretty much I was about a half of a semester away, no, a half of a year, pardon me, from receiving a bachelor's degree in 2 years. I left Munich University, came back home, seen that nothing was going on, enrolled at the University of Cincinnati. Didn't work out for me. Okay, ended up going to LSU because I had a friend of mine from Louisiana when I moved to New Orleans who was at LSU, and it was an accident that I ended up there. It was actually an accident. I went there to see him, and we went to an LSU football game. Now, I wasn't supposed to go to an LSU football game, Ron. I was really going to watch Grambling versus Southern. I was going to party. And anybody know that those are the HBCU colleges, and we had the Battle of the Bands at halftime. And I ended up seeing this little display at the Superdome. It was called the Superdome at that time. And they said, do you ever want to get into law? Let us know. I looked at the banner and I got it was like a little, you know how you had to write the phone numbers down back then? I wrote the phone number down off the banner at the Superdome. I called the next day or whatever, and I just didn't know. I was out there. I was a kid on my own. And I wrote the number down. I called the next day, and I was two semesters from getting a bachelor's degree. And I ended up in law school by accident. I didn't have any money to go. I didn't have any financial aid. I didn't know how to do it. So the financial aid guy, or it was a guy, it was a counselor at, told me what I needed to do. I needed $9,000 to enroll if I was to test in. If I test in, I was going to need $9,000 to get in school. My mom didn't know how to do it. I didn't have a father. I only knew one person that I could call that I could probably get close to that kind of money for school, and that was Mr. Jones. But first, I got to pass the test. Mr. Bardock, I told you about my high school teacher, became a mentor to me in my life. I called him and I told him what I wanted to do. He tutored me. I took the LSAC, and I did well. I did well enough to be accepted to LSU Law School. That's how it happened. That's how it happened. Now, as far as what I do in the investment world, I don't know. I'm not part of anything special. I do all my own thing, Ron, with investments, investing in the stock market. I just look, I'm not a pro. I'm a pro at it because I make money on it, but I don't make money on everything. Everything don't hit. But the only reason why I do well is because I'm a basic guy. I'm not an aggressive guy when it comes to that stuff. All I do, Ron, to be honest with you, is I invest in everything that I buy. So any company that I do business with, that I'm a consumer of, like my cell phone company, for years I was with Sprint. I think I was with Sprint for 14 years of my life. I own Sprint stock. I switched over to Verizon a couple years ago. I bought Verizon stock. Anything that I buy with my money, that I spend my money with every day. Huh? What'd you say? Ron said, damn, he did that. I'll be honest, because I'm thankful guy. I thought you was capping on that shit, but I know you're not now. No, I mean, it's always been like that. I've always said what I was saying years ago. I mean, when we first started this. And he said, did you make a lot of money on the Sprint stock? No, I never really made a lot of money. I don't make a lot of money in the stock market. I'm a basic guy. I'm a basic guy. I only invest in things that I use on a day-to-day basis. Like, for instance, Kroger. I own stock in Kroger because that's where I shop. I own stock in Walmart. I shop there. I own stock in Target. I own, anywhere that you see me, wherever I spend my money, I invest in that because I look at any dividend check as a rebate check. So if I spend $100 in Walmart or wherever, I look at a dividend check that may come in every quarter. If it's $200, I figure that's a $200 rebate. You understand what I'm saying? That's generally how I do things. I don't go out and say, oh, this up and coming new company. I'm not that abreast of investment. I'm not like that. And everything that I do, to be honest with you, Ron, everything that I do is just what I do. I don't really go to a consultant firm. I don't go to JP Morgan and ask them for, I don't do it like that. You see what I'm saying? I just, look, we were going to do an investment club, but people wouldn't take it serious back when COVID started. I said, everybody, let's start with $50, 50 to $100. Well, I can show you right now. I started with $50. Ron, I don't know if this is going to show, but I wanted to do the Cash App. You know, Cash App has investments. And I'm like, Ron, all we got to do is start. Now, I know I wasn't talking to you at the time. Let's see. Here it is. I started with $50 just to start an account. Wait a minute. Hold on. Let me get it to the investment part. I think this is it. Yeah, this is it right here. Sorry, I usually use my computer that I'm on right now to look this up. So I'm trying to do it on my phone. Here it is right here. I'm just going to show you a basic one. I'm going to show you a real basic one that I just, this was the time that I told everybody, let's get on board. Let's start with $50. I started with $50. Now don't trip. This is not a lot of money. All right. But to start with $50 and to buy what we call, pieces of stock. This is what I was able to do with $50. Can you see that? $767.63. I've had it for a year now. For 1 year. When I announced, let's do this, family, let's do it together, and we'll do it on my app. Well, we all can download the app and power buy together. Now, this could possibly be 3 times this amount if I had other investors with me, because we would have been able to invest $50 each. And instead of it being just a flat 50, we would have been working with maybe $1,000. So this could have possibly been $7,000. And everybody could have had $767 off of a $50 investment. We were just buying little shares. You don't have to buy. Look, I would rather buy 10 pieces of a stock versus 1 piece of one stock. That's just how I move. So I've been able to keep up with it. And no, $767.66 is not a lot of money, fam. It's not. But it's a huge return on $50. And the only reason why I'm showing you this one is because this is the one that I tried to start almost a year ago, less than a year ago, right here on Wyatt Live. Look. You don't have to be smart. You just have to be willing to. I think most people that are entrepreneurs and most people that are successful in this world will say this. They'll say this to you. If you're afraid to lose, don't get in. If you're afraid to lose and it'll hurt your ego more than it'll hurt your pocket, if you can't stand a loss, don't get in. Now, I'm not just talking about the investment game. I'm not just talking about stocks and bonds, because I'm not a player in the stocks and bond market. Not like that. I just understand that slow money is better than no money. So I invest in sure things. Nothing is really a sure thing, but some things are a lot more obvious than others. You feel what I'm saying to you? I don't think Sprint's going anywhere. I don't think Verizon is going anywhere. These are multi-million-dollar companies. Now, do I feel good if I was to take $1,000 and go invest in some up-and-coming company that does cell phone? No, I'm taking a higher risk. I don't feel comfortable going to ABC company, and now they're about to start going up against the big dogs of Sprint and Verizon. No, that's a bad investment for me. I would rather have a sure thing and take less money. I'm going to give you guys a perfect example. I was thinking of this before I even went on the show today, and I was thinking, like, maybe I should say this one day. It wouldn't go too well over on a Wyatt Live show. It wouldn't go over too well on our regular programming, because we really do have some haters in the group. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. I'm going to say the real shit right now. I told you this is the after show. We got some people that really can't stand the fact that I talk about what I talk about. They don't like the fact that I tell you can be great. Some motherfuckers want you to be fucked up like them. They really don't want somebody from nothing to tell you that you can be something. They mad. They want me to be a silver spoon person. They want me to be a dude from the suburbs and went to Moeller and all this old goofy ass shit. And I'm looking down on my people, telling them what they can do and what they shouldn't do and all this old shit. But I'm not that guy. I'm from where you from. I'm from where you from. I'm that struggle. I'm that struggle. I was born by a 14-year-old mama on the floor of Laura Holmes. The fuck? Half these black folks out here with media companies that's trying to, the Roland Martins and all them dudes, they had mama, daddy, lived in the suburbs, had the great schooling, and now they're going to sit back and tell us how the government fucking over us, how we ain't shit, how we don't have no start, how the government is keeping us in these conditions and all that old shit, man. I can try that shit. I ain't buying it. I'm not buying it. They using us. They using us. What would they be doing if they wasn't doing what they doing now? What would they be doing? They're not trying to keep you rich. They're not trying to show you the blueprint of how they do what they do. I'm in crypto as well, been about that check. I got in crypto late. The reason why I got into it late because I didn't trust it. I'm like anybody else who was optimistic. I'll be honest, I didn't trust it. I had a buddy of mine who got in. It was $17,000 in one particular share of crypto. It was $17,000. I called him a fool. This is a white dude that I know who is a risk taker. I didn't like the fact that how he put puzzles together. I didn't like how he was a risk taker in so much. I've seen him take some losses. I've seen him take some dives. I didn't want to put my money into something. It was more so him that I didn't trust over the crypto itself. Let me tell you something. When that man sold that crypto, it was $34,000. I thought it was a Ponzi scheme. I didn't really believe in it. Because number one, I'm going to tell you what I believe about the government. I believe if the government can't control it or put their hands in it, or if they don't have anything to do with it, they can shut it down anytime they feel like it. So I didn't trust it. Yeah, that's right. I can change it. I could change been about that check. Yeah, I probably at one point was like, no, I didn't trust it. I don't, blah, blah, blah. And I, just because it's profiting now, don't necessarily mean I'm 100% on board with it. But it's been able to hold steady. When it's taking its dives, it only took 1 quarter to recover. So I got to believe in it now. I believe it's a real thing. And the reason why I believe it's a real thing is because it's international. You understand what I'm saying? When it was just a local thing, when it was a national thing, that's a different argument. But if you look at the people that got in trouble, they got in trouble during crypto for different reasons, different ways. You know what I'm saying? Sean D. Nutter says, how do you invest in crypto? The same way I did with that $50. I own some crypto. It's right here. I'll show you that as well. Maybe we'll do this one day. Actually, I have Bitcoin. Okay, mine is Bitcoin. And it's $62,123.14 per share. Well, I have right here, you can see, I'll show it to you. This is when one day, I should show in all. It's been going up in the last, it's going down today. It's down 2.21. So it's down a few dollars. But I have, let me pull up what I can. Yeah, it's $62,131.24 per share. I have 10 shares. 10.6. So that's 10 and a half shares of the crypto. I don't know if you guys can see that. 10.61. The camera is blurring up the screen. I don't know if you guys can see that. But my account number is on there, so I'm glad it's not showing that. So sorry about that, Sea Breeze, bro. It's kind of the light, the screen is white, and the white lights here just gives a bad reflection. You probably see that white on the back of the phone better than you can that one. The reason being is because of the white surface. But I got to be honest with you. My account number And my information is right here on this screen, right by the account, right by the amount of stock, you know, the amount of Bitcoin. So I don't feel comfortable putting my account number on the screen, just like I guess some people can understand that. I don't feel comfortable with my Bitcoin, with my account number being out there. So I'm going to keep that one to myself if you don't mind. I know I said I'd answer questions, but I don't, just for my own my own safety. What else? Seabreeze says, all good, no worries. Appreciate you, brother. Our sister. Seabreeze, let's get it clear while we on the air, while we right here and we're not on the show, not on the air. Yeah, there you go. People have their crypto wallets stolen. So I don't want my number out there because you can hijack it. I'm pretty sure you can. Seabreeze, are you a male or a female, if you don't mind? Because I can't see your photo on your I can't see it on your profile because the screen is too small. But I want to know who I'm talking to. And Seabreeze could be a male or a female. You know, that's honest. Seabreeze could be. I wouldn't get mad. I wouldn't look, if you a dude, I'm not calling you Seabreeze anymore. If you're a woman, I'll call you Seabreeze. All right. But I ain't calling sugar man and sugar daddy and all that old shit, nothing like that. If you're a man, those days over with. It was cool when we was youngsters. But if you Seabreeze and you a man, I'll just be like, hey, they go C or they go Breeze. Some shit. But you can't be Seabreeze. All right. What else was it? I'll get the Seabreeze to answer that here in a minute. Been about to check says Biden raised the traditional rate to 9% from 3%. He made crypto market crash. Well, I don't know enough about that to speak on it. I don't necessarily know if it was his doing or it was the fact that they came in with the regulation. So if it was let me backtrack. If it's the regulation, you're right. If the regulation forced that particular move to happen, and here's the great thing about that though, been about to check. When you create your own dime, you can make it worth whatever you want to make it worth. You see what I'm saying, brother? Like for instance, if I was to come out with 10 Wyatt coins, there you go. He changed the regulation, and then that'll do it. If I come out with 10 Wyatt coins, and I say they're each worth $100, and then I say, well, any one of them that has the serial number ending in 06, all the ones ending, well, some that end in the even numbers. I got 10 of them. So there's 5 with even numbers and 5 with uneven, with odd numbers. And I say all the even ones are worth $3 more per share. I can dictate that. I can make that thing happen like that. If I say the odd numbers are worth what they're worth, see, I can make the adjustments to the value of whatever the thing is that I'm selling. And in some cases, it's the Bitcoin, it's the coin itself. I can kind of dictate that. And now I can manipulate it. Now I can say all the numbers. Now I'm going to saturate. Now I'm going to put few more pins out there. Sort of like my tape thing that I was talking about earlier. You know, I don't know how many were here at the beginning of the show, but I told y'all when I was a kid, I used to make mixtapes. And when I made these mixtapes, I would sell them every other week. And I killed myself. I marketed. I did it wrong. I was losing money. I was bringing out the next tape too soon. And that's what happens in Bitcoin and some of these other things. When they start putting too much, they crash the market. They saturate it and it takes the value down. Bitcoin has done an excellent job at holding steady by not saturating the market, keeping it where it's at. They've done a great job at that. And I'm still learning. I'm just in progress. Keep in mind, I didn't go to any type of school for investment or bookkeeping or any type of market share. I don't have a degree in that. Seabreeze said, a woman. Damn, that took forever to come. You sure? You was thinking about, should I tell him? I'm just kidding. Any other questions, man, before I get out of here? I'm almost up in my 20 minutes. Been about that. All right. Fame says, I thought they said they were a male earlier. Okay, maybe that's why the Sea Breeze came back with woman with a smile, with a laughter. Ron says one last thing. I know that chick on the front is your wife. Who is she? She's fire. I know that chick on the front is not your wife. Okay, yeah, you don't think that I would put my wife on the cover, of the show like that. No, actually, she's a model out of Detroit, Michigan. She's a very, very nice woman. All right, she is unbelievable. Um, I've known her for a few years now, and she's a ring girl in the boxing world with me. All right, and she is just a special, special individual that I will always have the utmost respect for. And you know what? She didn't ask me for a dime to do, this. What I was going to do, to be honest with you, is I was going to do a mug, just a collectible mug from the Wyatt Live show, just something to do something just for the people that are here. You know what I'm saying? I was going to do a mug and have the picture of the of the I was going to, of the show, and make it a classic. You know what I'm saying? It was going to be a classic mug, and have her picture, and then I would probably shoot her some type of I would shoot her some funds for being part of what she's never asked me for. She's never asked me for a dime. And I was just going to give her a piece of the, of the collection. Let me go to the phone lines real fast. Unbelievable. I have a phone call on Wyatt after show. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with? Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Where we? Hold on.
What up, Wyatt?
Oh, I was about to hang up. Hey, man, this is the after show, bro. No screaming, no hollering. We keeping it cool. We keeping it steady. What's good with you, brother? What's good?
I can hear reverb. I can hear myself in the background.
You can?
Okay, not anymore. It's gone now.
Okay. What's up, bro?
Hey, bro, I just got back from walking my 3.7, walking while retired, 3.7 miles.
Yeah.
And I said, let me see if Wyatt's still on. And I turned it on, and you got your outro, right?
Yeah.
Playing some nice 50. And okay, so I go to what do you call that? Scrolling on YouTube, looking for some Colorado Buffalo. 48 hours, Wyatt, and it's on. But that's not why I call.
We're going on Thursday night.
I know, bro. That's not why I call.
Oh, wait a minute. Let me ask you about that, though, real quick. Are you going to be a Colorado fan this year?
I was a Colorado fan as soon as they signed Coach Prime.
Okay. I thought you was about to come in here on the after show on some perp shit, talking about I was a fan when they were 1-11. You was a damn lie.
Wyatt, I'm 62. I'm 64 years old. Okay, I loved Deion Sanders when he was at Florida State, all the way up through his TV career. I love the man because of his confidence.
There you go.
And him being a man, especially after he almost took his own life. Okay, what that man, huh?
I'm giving you horn for that, because that's real shit. That's real shit right there.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I used to watch him. He used to go on Trinity Broadcast Network, giving his testimonial. But anyway, Wyatt, bro, are you at it again? You have another show after your show?
Well, occasionally I haven't done this in years. I used to do this before I think you were listening. My first year at Wyatt Live, I would do a show for a couple hours, and then I would use the last 20 minutes after the outro, and I would come back in and we would have a discussion about what we talked about, and I would answer some questions that maybe people didn't want to put out there. And it would just be a handful of people that would stick around. Sometimes I would do it, sometimes I didn't.
Okay, so usually it was something that was very powerful during your 2-hour show that you just wanted to keep going.
Yeah, because it all depends on what the topics were. You know what I'm saying? Because, man, listen, a lot of people, they don't really engage in talk radio or in podcasts. They just listen. You know what I mean? They don't make themselves known that they hear, and that they just fall back and listen. So I wanted to create a space where people who don't normally call and kind of sit back, a space that they would feel comfortable maybe typing in or calling in or asking me a question or two. You know what I mean? Like somebody would never ask me. I'm sorry, let me just say this. No, I don't think anybody's ever asked me if that was my wife on the cover of the show. See what I'm saying? I would get a question like that in the after show because I know that would come from a respectable space. They would never ask me that during the show, though. See what I'm saying?
Yeah. But see, this is the other element. Maybe you just didn't want to mention it, but some people tune in because you show the comments live and publicly. So it's a lot of people, Wyatt. I ain't gonna call no names, but they're just in it for the chat.
Oh, I understand.
Okay, for a lot of different reasons. You know, people dropping stuff in other people's DMs, but again, it just goes to show you the power that you've achieved, whether you did it intentionally or not. This is where you are, because what some other podcasters do. You notice how I phrase this. Mm-hmm. Some of the podcasters, what they do, they offer like it's kind of like a membership to the Wyatt Live Club. Mm-hmm. So this after party that you're doing right now, it would only be available for members who are part of your club. And you could charge membership for your club, or I mean, those podcasters charge membership for their clubs. They name the club. And again, Wyatt, brother, I enjoy watching your elevation. And I know you hear me when I give you, what do they call it? Constructive criticism.
Absolutely.
But I'm not criticizing, not at all.
No,
because,
bro, I feel you. I feel where you at.
I'm just saying, this is my last thing, and I'm hanging up because I don't know how long your after party lasts.
I'm here for it.
But, bro, the shenanigans and the BS that's going on in the Black Girl Magic campaign, also known as Kamala Harris, Tim Walz for president, it's embarrassing, it's shameful, it's disrespectful to Black voters in this country for Kamala Harris to not speak to the people that she's asking to put her in office, Wyatt.
I agree.
She is not even at 80% approval amongst Black voters. Wyatt, she's got to get that number up close to 90
to
beat Trump.
Where is she? Do you know?
She's at the last poll I saw, she was at like 78% approval amongst Black people, which was up about 15 points from where Joe Biden was at around 63%. Okay, so I'm just saying, Wyatt, Donald Trump.
Well, let me say this about that, if you don't mind, and then you can get into the thing. I just want to say something to you about to a few people here. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but I don't think all Black people are on board with what's going on. I think there's an illusion that all Black people are on board and that we are a monolith and that we are just riding with her. I think there's people that really think that all Black people are on board. And I think that they're showing, more support for her than there actually is. Because I see things, I see TikToks, I see other podcasts, and I see people that actually, they're not that enthused about her running. Now, that doesn't mean that she hasn't changed and moved the needle because of where it was with Joe Biden. But I just don't think that it's as much support as people. I think it's much more support than what Joe Biden had because she's a different energy. I'll be honest with you. When you put a teleprompter in front of her, she can give a speech. She's good. She's a breath of fresh air from Joe Biden. That's for sure. But I think
she's a lawyer by profession.
That don't make her good. Okay.
I'm saying that's what you do in law school. You get up in front of a jury.
Well,
so the whole she can read and tell it that don't mean nothing.
Well, yes, it does. Yes, it does. I'm sorry, Drop. It plays a big part in how long she can get away with not talking to the public. Because if she wasn't able to
on that point, I agree.
Okay, because if you just listen to me, brother, I'm telling you, if you listen to her in a teleprompter, do you know her campaign is pushing? She does talk to the people. And they're talking about, wait a minute, they're saying she talks to the people when she's when she's giving speeches. That's not necessarily talking to the people, because when you can't sit somebody down and have a one-on-one and ask them, well, why do you feel the way you're talking? That's not being just to the people. You understand what I'm saying? But why would those people even feel that way, Drop, if they were never even given an opportunity to vote the person in the spot in the first place? You've already broken democracy. Regardless of what rule you think you never broke, you still never followed the stream of democracy. Nobody voted for her to be in that position.
Exactly. And that's why I always say that the mainstream media are the willing accomplices of the desperate Democrat Party. Okay? Because it's the media that's supposed to be the arbiters of truth, the holding truth to power. Okay? But the ones who are supposed to do that are not reporting what you just said. You may see it in limited segments or something like that, but the place you're hearing what you just said is where I always tell you that Black voices matter, and that is on social media, Wyatt. I'm telling you, and this is the last thing. Donald Trump has always underperformed. He underperformed in 2016 when he destroyed the Republican primary field, and then he beat Hillary Clinton, Miss We Gonna Break the Glass Ceiling, hot sauce in my bag swag. And now they bring the second coming of Barack Obama without the primary process that got her ass tossed out of the 2020 Democrat primary.
Hey, Drop.
So again,
Drop. I think
why? Oh, bro, I could get going, but we just getting started.
I want to tell you something. You didn't watch the show at the beginning today. You didn't watch it, did you?
No.
Okay,
No.
I played a clip of Joe Biden today and Kamala Harris in a debate when they were debating in 2019, when they were on the Democratic debate primary. I played a clip today. You missed it, and because in my city we have a radio station that's it's a black radio station, and they don't really it's a little bit different. Everything is Trump.
Which city? Which one of your cities? Florida or Cincinnati?
I'm in Cincinnati.
Okay, you talking about WDBZ, the buzz.
Yeah. But anyway, that all being said, I played a clip today because what I hear from my people in my city is that the white prosecutors here in the city aren't any good. They mistreat Black folks. It's the same song and dance and blah, blah, blah. Blacks don't have this. It's the prosecutors, a prosecutor, blah, blah, blah. I played a clip because I've been listening to my community say things like, well, the Black folks that Kamala Harris locked up in California, they were guilty. You're supposed to go to jail. See, all of a sudden, the system is playing the right role. It's doing what it's supposed to do when Kamala Harris is in charge. But now listen, Joe Biden exposed her in 2019 on a debate stage, and I played the clip. You ain't got to hear it from me. I played the clip from the debate. And they have no
it wasn't Joe Biden. It was Tulsi Gabbard.
That's not true. That's not true.
Oh, well, she did the most damage.
Well, that's
all I'm saying. Tulsi Gabbard did the most damage because she was also a woman of color.
Right. You want to hear what the clip said that Joe Biden said? Do you know what Joe Biden said about her?
Yes, but I'm just saying I was agreeing with you with the clip, but you should also play the Tulsi Gabbard clip.
I have played that one before.
Okay.
But that one is not as powerful to me, in my opinion.
Right. We just have different opinions.
Yeah. In my opinion, I think it's more important from the guy that brought her on as the damn vice president in the first place. See, they went at it with each other, but yet you bring her in. She never called Joe a racist. She never called Joe Biden a racist.
I know. She said it up front. She says, I'm not accusing you of being a racist, but
how does that work? How can I tell you, bro, I don't think you a thief, but I think you stole my fucking money. You see what I'm saying? Like, that makes you a thief in my mind. Like, I don't think you're a thief, Drop, but I know I had $20 right here and you the only one been in my crib. I think you stole my $20. Now, I think you a thief. For me to say that I don't think you're a thief, you know what I'm saying? So for you to say,
Wyatt, let me explain to you what her strategy was behind doing what she did to Joe Biden on that stage. It was because she was trying to recapture the Black support that she was losing because of her prosecutor record in California.
You're talking about when she said about the busing.
Yeah, I was that girl on the bus.
That's the play. That's always the play. And here,
no, but you got to look at the timing of that debate. After that debate, she dropped out.
I'm agreeing with you. I understand what happened. It just was it was a dead run. She did it and it didn't work. All I'm saying to you, but she was very smart on stage too. Now, if you want to bring an attorney in that has great litigation and manipulation, she is that. That's for sure, because she backed him into a corner and said, so let me make sure I understand this, Joe. You're going to hire a woman as your vice president. Now, what better woman who checks the most boxes if you're a black woman on the stage in a debate with Joe Biden? She does. It was a great play. I watched it from a long range, and I seen the scope come. I seen it in full scope. It was crazy. And that all being said, but what video I played today dropped, I don't know if you've seen it or heard it before, but it's the one of Joe Biden telling her that she locked up thousands of not blacks.
Yes.
Okay, listen, I played it today for my crowd. You understand? My people never heard that. They didn't see that because they're talking in my city, in the city of Cincinnati. They're talking about everybody she locked up was guilty. Just the opposite of what they talk about prosecutors in my city. So sometimes, do you understand why I think that's
I understand. I definitely understand. But again, we differ in our views of what we're talking about.
Well, because we're not really.
Because see, I see Democrat political strategy different than you do.
Well,
okay, you're eventually gonna.
But we're
eventually,
not. Hold on, drop. Hold on. We're not actually talking about the same thing, though. You and I are talking about the same person, and we're talking about something that's relevant, that it would be her position running. But my point was to what they're talking about in my city in real time. They're trying to defend the fact that the people that she was putting in jail were guilty and should be there. So why are y'all mad for her locking up black people? Those were black people that were guilty. And what I did is I brought evidence to the forefront of saying there has been a federal judge that came back and retract some of her decisions out of her office, of saying these people were held unwillingly. These evidence was being held back. I just used what they've been saying that white people been doing to us in Cincinnati. I used that same form of that same evidence to show them that Kamala Harris was doing the same thing in her office. Now, what do y'all have to say about that? That's totally different than what you were talking about.
I get it, Wyatt. I get it. But again, like I said, I understand why you did what you did and why you chose to play what you played. Okay? Because you always say on your show, you're not doing what you do to convince someone to vote a certain way.
Right.
Okay? So if you bring up the Kamala Harris situation right now, and you explain what she did in a Democrat primary. Technically, that has nothing to do with her being the nominee of the party.
No, it doesn't. But it also, I'm taking the approach of people who want to defend her actions when they're actually saying that she didn't do what she actually was doing. Don't sit back and tell me that this lady didn't have anything to do with overcharging and overcharging and locking black people up. Don't come to the defense of her saying, well, they deserve to be locked up because they were criminals. That sounds just like what white people used to say about black people when we would get mad. We would get mad because we felt like what Kamala Harris was actually doing in real time to us. They would say that was white supremacy doing that to us. What is it when she does it? That's all I'm saying to you.
Hey, bro, you're getting good at what you do when you choose to talk about politics, okay? And all I can do is encourage you to keep doing it. But when it comes to political strategy and what the Democrats have pulled off in 2024, it is unprecedented, but the track record is there, okay? So we just got to wait and see if she can reach those levels. I'm talking about in the high 80s, low 90s with percentage of black votes. If she can't do that, Wyatt, they're going to lose, but they'll blame it on something else.
They're going to blame it on black men.
They won't blame it on their policies. That's why they don't talk about the policies.
I understand it.
Because she's trying to act like she was not.
They're going to blame it on me. They're going to blame it on Ron D. No, seriously. They're going to blame me. They're going to blame Ron D. They're going to blame Drop Squad 52 out of California. They're going to say we're the reason, when in fact I can show you video after video of a lot of black folks that's just not buying the brand. They're not buying the Kamala Harris brand. They don't believe that she's real about what she's talking about and what she's doing. That's why she won't come out and do interviews and do stand-ups in front of cameras. It's not because she's prepping for a debate. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Everybody's prepping for a debate. You got a staff for that.
Hey, Wyatt, I'm getting ready to get off because I'm sitting here reading from the chat. Davis Denise says, I'm calling in. You can't leave. I don't know who she's talking about, but I'm hanging up because I want to hear Davis Denise say something about hopefully what we talking about. Okay. So I'm out. Keep doing what you do, Wyatt. Peace out, everybody.
All right, brother. Peace and love to you. That's Drop Squad 52 in the after show. Let me play this video again. Someone said that they didn't see the video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play the video that I played during the show today. And it's only to counter the people who said, because if Trump says what Joe Biden is about to say, they'll say he's a liar. If I say what Joe Biden's about to say, then I'm against black women. If Ron D or somebody else who has their twin or somebody else has this same point of view, they'll say that we're just Trumpsters. But I want to know, what do you say when Joe Biden, who you've been supporting for 3.5 years, who wasn't demented, who didn't have problems, who wasn't falling off the track, who all that shit, when he you defended him all this time. So now when he says what I've been trying to tell y'all, because I already knew there's been civil cases. Most of them have been removed from the internet since she's been in this position of running for president, whether y'all like it or not. It's the truth. But when Joe Biden says it in a debate against Kamala Harris, I just want to know, what do you think then? What do you say? Because here's the only reason why I brought this to the forefront was because of this reason here. I hear too many people defending her record in California when you didn't even know her when she was in California. Her record is on paper. It's not an opinion. Her record is a fact. And when I told y'all there were black men out in California with civil lawsuits and they were winning and they were stacking them up and they were getting rid of some of these lawsuits because of her political status, y'all didn't believe me. But so I went back to the archives and I just remembered Joe Biden brought up her record. The Gabby girl did too. But Joe Biden said something that was pivotal that proves my point today. And that was, I remember Joe Biden saying, federal judges had to come in and clean your shit up in your office. And look at her territory in California. Are you going to tell me, no, they don't do this to white people, do they? They don't overcharge white people, over incarcerate white people. They don't do that now, do they? So who were they doing it to? Who do you think she would? I could tell you 3 cases off the top of my head where they've already run civil cases against her office. Not taking the evidence to court. I can think of 3 off the top of my head in the excess of about $25 million in lawsuits. So when I played this clip today, it wasn't to prove, look, I said it 2.5 years ago, 2 years ago, whatever, 2.5 years. I was not in a position to try to defend what I said. I knew what I knew. I just put the information out there. Those that wanted to believe it, fine. You believe it. If you want to call me whatever I'm calling, you're going to call, fine, do that too. But now I had to get to the bottom of it because I heard too many people, black folks, black leaders, black hosts talking about those black people were supposed to go to jail because they committed crimes. Them the same ones that when a black leader come into their radio stations or on their podcast, them the same ones that talk about how the system fucked up. Those are the same people. But when Kamala Harris's office does it, those black folks was criminals and they should have went to jail. Let me let you see this before I move to the phone lines real fast. This is what Joe Biden said in 2019. I understood what Drop was talking about, but my point was totally different to what he's trying to get across. This was Kamala Harris and Joe Biden in 2019 in the Democratic presidential debate in their when they were running for the presidency in 2019. This is what Joe Biden said about Kamala Harris, excuse me.
When Senator Harris was the Attorney General for 8 years in the state of California, there were two of the most segregated school districts in the country. When Senator Harris was the Attorney General for 8 years in the state of California, there were two of the most segregated school districts in the country, in Los Angeles and in San Francisco. And she did not, I didn't see a single solitary time she brought a case against them to desegregate them. Secondly, she also was in a situation where she had a police department when she was there that in fact was abusing people's rights. And the fact was that she, in fact, was told by her own people, that her own staff, that she should do something about and disclose to defense attorneys like me that you, in fact, have been, the police officer did something that did not give you information, would exculpate your client. She didn't do that. She never did it. And so what happened? Along came a federal judge and said, enough, and he freed 1,000 of these people. If you doubt me, Google 1,000 prisoners freed, Kamala Harris.
Thank you, Vice President Biden.
What a man.
Go Google 1,000 prisoners. They didn't took that shit down. They've taken it down. Okay, so good luck finding that, but it existed a few years ago. That's gone. But you should have took my words 2 years ago when I tried to tell y'all. She has civil lawsuits facing her because of the mistreatment and the abuse of office. But y'all sitting back here letting Lil Jon and them turn up for what? Yeah, all that old bullshit. You got Megan Thee Stallion out there brainwashing y'all. Let me tell you something. One of the things that group of people do is they turn us against investment people. They turn us against rich people. A lot of people be like, ain't nobody saying nothing about no rich people, bad rich. Yes, you do. When you talk about rich people need to be paying higher taxes, rich people this, when you're inflating people because of their income levels, you're turning another class against them. Because it's a classism case. It's a classism argument. That's all it is in the first place. That's all it is. Now, I'm going to show you something that I ain't showed nobody before yet. We ain't done this one yet. For the Democratic Party to be so hard on rich people, what have I been telling you? Rich people control their party. Rich people. Look at all the people that work up. The senators make $175. Think about this shit. They got plenty of money to keep you feeling like you got enemies. Now, trust and believe this. Why do you think Jewish people support the Democratic Party more than they do the Republican Party? The majority of Jewish people in this country support the Democratic Party. Why do you think that? What do black people think the most of Jewish people? I'm not saying this is how I feel because I follow the money. I know what it is. But let me ask you, what is your impression of Jewish people? They're rich. They save money. They're business ventures. They buy property. They're into everything that keep government subsidy flowing. You know why? Because a lot of their income, family-based income, comes from government assistant situations. So why would I cut my nose off to spite my face? I'm going to support the party that supports my income. I'll build subsidized housing. I'll do all this shit in the community. I will build Section 8 homes. I'll do all that shit. And I'll let all them go down there on all that Section 8 and all that old shit. And then I'll build me a house in Indian Hill. And I'll keep voting for that shit to happen because that's how we eat. That's how we eat. So I'm a Democrat, yeah, because I make my money off Democratic voters. That's how they then sliced up the music industry. What executive that you know is telling Sexy Red and them, stop talking about that booty hole? No, you keep talking about that booty hole because it improves our bottom line. The divide and conquer is real. It's a real thing. And it comes with bigger and thicker and juicier minds than mine. I've never tried to create something where I'm trying to get you to go against somebody. I just Want to give you more information so you can make a clear decision. Don't let manipulation send you in a direction. See, Bree says Sexy Red endorsed Trump. I don't know if she endorsed Trump. I guess it is an endorsement. She just said, I like Trump because my people have money in their pocket. But she ain't running around with no signs. Now, I think somebody told me she had a Trump hat on her stage. I ain't seen that yet. I just heard about it. If it's true, it's true. Whatever. Whatever. But I will say this. Trump ain't out here talking about Sexy Red on my team. I bet he won't bring her on the campaign. I bet he won't bring her out on stage and holler Booty Brown, and all that old shit. Vote for Trump. I bet you she won't do that. I bet he won't be part of that. Regardless of what you think of 32 convictions and that shit right there. When y'all bring in these folks and ask them why they've been at the damn White House, the White House was part of those convictions. Whether y'all like it or not, whether you understand how this program and process works, most of the people bitching and complaining about it and got all this old shit they talking about, they don't know how this works. They don't know how it is to be prosecuted as a Republican in a Democratic city. They don't understand that. They don't get it. And these are the same people that talk about illegal prosecutions and upward bound of sentencing and all that old shit. They don't believe that those things happen when it happened. They only believe those things happen when it happened to them. It never will happen to anybody else. That's why I told you they don't care nothing about racism. Those are the main ones that don't give a shit about racism. They don't care nothing about it. Because if racism was on their side, they'd be quiet. They wouldn't say shit about it. I promise you. If black privilege was over white privilege, black folks wouldn't say a damn word. No different than white people. They wouldn't say a freaking word. Think about it. Shit go against us and we stay on code and don't say nothing when it's going against us. So imagine if some shit was working out. You know we wouldn't say nothing. I'm going to show you something before I go to this phone line real fast. The DNC. I never really had a conversation about the RNC or the DNC. But it puzzles me how and I've been saying this since the beginning that I created this platform, and that is, I don't understand how a bunch of people who want to believe that the world is against them and it's all about, the rich people keep us poor. I don't understand how you can listen to rich people tell you that rich people keeping you poor. We're going to go after them rich folks. We're going to go after them rich folks. We're going to go after their money. We're going to go after them. We're going to tax them. You do realize these are rich people telling you this shit. This is like a child. What do we want to call this? What do you call a person? A child. A person that molests children and things. A child predator. Would you let a child predator work in a daycare? And he gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna make sure that this place is safe. I'm going to make sure that nobody come in here and violate any of these children. But you the child, you the problem. You are what you trying to keep out of the hen house. You're the wolf. Nancy Pelosi and all of them take advantage of the stock market. They do all of it. And all they doing is recruiting people that look just like us to hold down the gun line. He crossed that gun line, boss. He's saying something different than what we thinking, boss. I'm going to show you something about the DNC entertainment fest that they had. A lot of people ain't gonna like this. Let me show you a picture. This right here shows you who supports them. I don't understand how rich people are going to go after rich people. Check this out. This is how much it costs to get a suite at the DNC. And I know some people locally that said that they were there and was there as reporters. Now, I ain't going to shoot no shots. I just want to know, were you in one of these suites? Were you in the showcase? Or were you just down at the pond spot? You understand? Were you down on the floor in the media area and you had to go somewhere else to get a room, and you had a credential, and that was it? Did you go up to the suites with the rich folks, the well-off people? Were you with them? Because if Chris Como and them was on the floor, how a local dude, local woman gonna get up in the suites unless you part of the shit? You got to be part of the boule. This is what it cost to be part of this situation. Look at the cost to be involved. These are the bosses of that party. Check it out. Hold on, let me get the clip. Here it is right here. Sorry about that. I hit the wrong one. How much does it cost to get a suite at the DNC? The penthouse was $500,000 for a penthouse suite. $500,000. That's the lowest level. That's just a suite. Okay, that's a suite. These are the people telling you that rich people, they don't say rich people bad, but they carry the narrative of these rich people out here, these rich people. Look, the penthouse, $500,000. A club level suite is $1 million to $1.5 million. Where the teachers union at in all of this? I bet you it wasn't a school teacher in one of these suites. Lower level suites was $2.5 million. It wasn't an empty club seat. It wasn't an empty suite in the building. A two lower level suite was $5 million. Now, how many people that talk that Democratic shit you think can afford those prices? How many of them do you think can afford those prices? Deanna Johnson says, what about the RNC? See, that's part of the argument. That's part of my argument, Deanna. I just got to be honest with you. It seems like every time you go in on one of them about some real shit, the answer to it all is, but what about them? What our mamas used to tell us when we was taking care of shit in our own house. Why you worried about what they doing? Why are you worried about what they doing? And even if it's the same, which it probably is, Deanna, my argument is not with the RNC, because they don't talk about how poor it is. They don't talk about how they being held back. That's not what they talk about. That's not what they talk about. They're not talking. The whole idea of rich people being involved with them is clear to me. Yeah, they probably are. But I can tell you this: rich corporations are on Democratic sides. There's rich people on both sides, but there's only one side that argue about rich people being the problem. So we got to get away from that. See, when I say here's the thing. That's why I never argue with people that talk so bad about Trump. I don't argue and say, oh, you're right. You're right. Oh, no, you're wrong. He didn't say that. He didn't do that. No, what I argue is, okay, you made your point about him, and that's fine. But now when you sit back, or with Kamala Harris, you supported her and all that and this and that. But when you say something wrong about what she did, when you try to defend a wrongdoing that she did and you try to make it sound like she Mrs. Goodbar, that's a different argument from me. Now I'm going to prove to you what you're saying is wrong. You can't tell me that she didn't have anything to do with locking up innocent black people. You can't sit here and tell me that the world locks up black innocent people, everybody but Kamala Harris. You can't tell me that. Not when there's lawsuits out there, not when there's a federal judge that came in and overturned some of her situations, thousands. I get you, Deanna. I know you. I'm saying that prices was probably the same, but what group of people? Look, if I put that chart up, Deanna, check it out. This chart right here, if it was the RNC, you wouldn't be shocked, would you? Because you've been taught to believe, maybe not you, but most people have been taught to believe that the RNC is nothing but a bunch of rich people, elite people, and blah, blah, blah. They got all the money and they trying to rule the world. They trying to be dictators and this and this and that. Well, if I showed you this chart and said it was the RNC, you'd be like, oh shit, yeah, don't shock me at all. It don't shock you that this is the DNC? It don't shock you that the people that talk the most about oppressed people and don't have the money, this and this and that, are spending like that? You know what that is? That's the equivalence of the preacher preaching to the choir of everybody's pain and suffering, and everybody catching the bus to school, to the church, getting on the church bus, and the preacher walk in, he's drive up in a Bentley, and he asking for money in the basket. Put money in the basket. Put money in the basket. We need a new jet. We need this. We need that. It's the equivalent of the fool game for me. That's what it is. Let me go to the phone lines. I got to get out of here. I'm at the top. I got to get out of here, but I want to give this person an opportunity to speak their piece. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Don't be trying to get out of here at the top when I call.
I'm not, sis. That's why I'm saying I got to give you some time. But I'm listening to you. I just got to make my move over here to the corner real fast, but I'm listening. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
The first thing I want to say is look up Bishop Wooten of the Church of God in Christ. He was just investigated by the IRS and his 501(c) removed because he has a video on YouTube saying do not support Kamala Harris. In the video, as a Christian, he calls out his congregation and reminds them what the Democratic platform is pushing. They pushing transgender kids, that being a child under 16 can get a hysterectomy and a mastectomy. And if you don't allow it, that child will be removed from your custody. That's what Walsh did in his city. If your child want to be a girl and they want to get their penis removed and you say no, that's what they push, and puberty blockers. So before a child even hit puberty, if they decide that they want to be the opposite sex and you say no as a parent, the state has the right to come in and confiscate that child. Look up Bishop Wooten.
Wait, let me ask you something, sis. Was that you that sent me that video of the preacher? I don't know. I don't want to throw you off of your thoughts, okay? But was that you that sent me a picture? I'm sorry, a video of that preacher who said the IRS came in to see him?
That's him. That's him.
That's the same guy. Okay,
that's
you know I watched that video.
You gotta play that. Now, you got to play it. Bishop Wooten is telling black men, get out the Democratic Party. You're being emasculated.
I'm gonna play it one day, sis. Here's the other thing I like to say about that, and the floor is yours. He's not the only one. There was somebody, I was watching something with my wife yesterday, sis, and somebody said something else about there was a video, there was something that my wife said. I can't remember who it was. I really shouldn't bring this up because I vaguely get something came up where somebody said something about the government came to see them. Oh no, you know what? It's in the movie Prison Break. All right. Has anybody seen that series Prison Break? All right, it's like started in 2017. My wife and I were watching it yesterday. We needed a new series to watch. And I never seen Prison Break. It's from 2017, actually. And in one of the first 2 or 3 episodes, the feds go see not even a pastor. They go see a what do they call in the Christian church? They went to go see a
bishop.
No, he was
a deacon.
He was a priest. He had a Christian church. He was a priest, though. You know, the white dude with the collar. And he was a priest, okay? And they went and visited him. Now, this is 2017, sis, in a movie. And they had 2 agents go by to see this guy. And it played out just like that video that you sent me yesterday. And I'm like, wait a minute. This is from 2017, and you sending me something brand new. So is this a real thing that actually happens when the feds?
Yes, you can get revoked for speaking against the government from the pulpit. Yes,
and
the government.
Can take away your
that's why they come to your church.
Yeah, and they tell you that they'll take away your tax exempt, your 501(c) status, and they'll back it all the way back to when they start having a problem with you. And that means you'll owe back taxes. That means that you'll lose your status. It's a whole lot of stuff. I didn't really believe it, but what made me think about it is my wife and God put you in a different place sometime for reason. And I'm telling you, sis, you sent me that video, and you would have never known I was gonna watch Prison Break. You didn't know nothing. You don't know nothing about that. What I'm doing in my spare time. I watch a show that a white priest, went through the same thing that brother was just describing that he went through with his wife of being revoked by the FBI. The feds came and talked to him. I couldn't believe it.
The IRS said they're going to go back, and any tithes that he got, any type of income that his congregation from the date of that speech is taxed. Now, here's why. Because he said, don't vote for Kamala Harris. Now, I have to, I have to give context to things because people are offended by me. I get it. I'm a girl.
Not all of us.
I speak a little too intelligently, and people throw you off and say it's a conspiracy theorist. But I want you to realize I'm an older woman. So I'm in my 40s now. I grew up during the 90s. I saw a lot of stuff go on, and I was woke back then. And yes, I've had bad relationships, but I'm not so hurt that I hate Black men. I'm so hurt that I love myself and Black women enough to speak up for us. When people who we call leaders, who routinely dog us, and I'm just going to go ahead and say some names because it needs to be put in context. Lincoln Ware used to demonize single Black mothers. Why you got so many kids? It's your fault you poor. It's your fault you homeless. And I used to have to push that back because we don't get babies by ourselves.
Right.
Now, on my Facebook page, you've been friends with me. I put some controversial Facebook pictures up. A picture that I put up last week was Donald Trump and Oprah Winfrey hugging. I'm from the 90s. I remember Donald Trump being the darling of Oprah Winfrey on his show all the time. Her pushing him to be president. When you gonna run for president, Donald?
Right.
When you gonna run for president? Then he went on Larry King and said, if I did run for president, I would choose Oprah Winfrey as my vice president. I'm from the 80s. I remember when Al Sharpton and Tawana Bradley had that fake ass, she got pooped on and raped by 5 cops and the KKK. And it was all a farce. It was a time when Al Sharpton was pushing Hate Whitney Houston because she was a pop singer. Right. Had people at the Soul Train Music Awards booing her, sent the sister into a tailspin on drugs. Okay? Al Sharpton has never been a true activist. Where his church at? How he get non-tax? Is non-tax? See, he basically extorts corporations for money if they even deemed any type of racist. So
well, that's part of his nonprofit organization. He has, some nonprofit organizations set up. That's where you funnel the money when he needs to, rake you.
When he's doing extortions.
Right.
So I just want to first point out that a lot of people who claiming to be leaders is full of shit.
Absolutely.
They not real.
Absolutely.
And we in trouble as Black Americans. We've been arguing with Luke on Twitter all week long because Luke is a Caribbean American. And he feels like Kamala Harris, since she's the only one that he interviewed with, is Black American. Right. And people don't know their history. After the slave trade in Jamaica was ended by the British Kingdom and you couldn't export slaves from Africa no more, the people of India chose indentured servitude. So the people of India chose to become slaves in Jamaica. And in their indentured servitude, they couldn't go back to India and be in the same class. So in India, they have a Brahmin class. That's the top class of people. Those are the people in America that you see right now that are the richest people in this country. People act like they don't exist. And there is no taxation without proper representation. That's why Vivek Ramaswamy ran for president. Right. It's important to be seen in your government.
Let me ask you a question. I got to ask you a question about something. You just woke me up to something. They talking about that reparations is something that would be specific for Black folks, but yet you haven't heard any of these people talk about reparations because I don't think it's on their agenda. Like Vice President Harris.
Reparations is a carrot in front of the donkey of the Democratic Party.
It's a hope.
You will never get reparations.
Right. It's a hope.
There's no congressional pathway to reparations.
Right.
But that don't mean we ain't gonna fight you.
Right.
That don't mean we ain't gonna bring up the legal basis for it. That don't mean we don't have the right to demand it.
But what about the
legally
leaders?
Speaking, it ain't gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen, and I'm gonna tell you why. As much as I want it to happen, and I believe it should happen, it's just no way of sorting it out. Number one, Vice President Harris, respectfully, would not get reparations. Joy Reid. These are the people that do the most talking.
These are immigrants.
These are immigrants. Y'all have to understand that. They're first generation Americans, so they don't have a history of building this country. All right. Do you feel me, sis? They don't have a history of building this country. So why would they fight for something that really matters to Black folks.
And it's
They
a
talk a lot of
smack in
shit.
the face for them to be promoting. See, the thing is, Black people being played as pawns. Black men, you got to be blamed.
Do you hear what
if
I
you
say
don't
about
support
us?
Harris.
Do you hear what I say about why do we have so many Black women leading the Democratic Party? Where are the Black men? I think that they really believe that it's something wrong. You know, the Black man vote, the Black men, we're being demonized.
You're being demonized. You're being, and Black women are big. But here's the thing: Black women being demonized too by calling her a Black woman.
Well,
she's not Black. She is full-blood West Indian
we about
and
to argue.
East Indian.
We about to argue. You and I about to argue, and I ain't never argue with you. But that ain't nobody calling her Black, but Black people. That's y'all.
Listen here.
That's y'all.
You ain't got no argument with me. You ain't got no argument with me because we so pressed to be included.
Hey, that's y'all calling her Black. My thing is this. You can call her Black all you want to. Let me ask you something, sis, and I don't mean to go off a little bit off the tangent. I just got a question for you. I know you travel. I know you've been some places. I've been to Jamaica. I don't know if you've ever been to Jamaica. I don't know how many people been to Jamaica, but I just want to ask somebody something in the crowd. We know what pigmented. We know what pigment is in our skin. We know it darkens our skin and all that. But the mentality of Black person is a different thing than what your skin color is, as far as I'm concerned. I don't mean that if you act ignorant, you're Black and all that old goofy shit. I don't mean it like that. I'm having a real conversation here. Listen, anybody know anybody from Jamaica that call themselves Black? By the show of hands, if you know a Jamaican that calls themselves Black, let me know. Let me know right now. Now, I ain't talking about a Jamaican that's sitting out here faking to be a Jamaican and he lived down on Lynn Street. I'm talking about a dude from Jamaica. You ever heard them talking about I'm Black? They all say they what? What do they say? What do they say, Denise? What do they say, Mark? They say they Jamaican, don't they? They never say I'm Black. I'm Black. They never say that. They say they are Jamaican man. That's what they say.
And Africans are the same way.
Exactly.
Africans don't refer themselves as Black. Africans refer themselves by tribe.
Exactly.
I'm a Igbo.
Exactly.
I'm
None of them say.
I'm Yoruba.
None of them say
from Mali.
I'm Black.
I'm from Ghana. They nobody saying they Black, but Black Americans. And Black Americans have been played by people who had these loud ass voices and these stupid ass talking points.
Exactly.
Because you can sit up and say, you got to feed the immigrant. They so poor. They coming over here. They need this and that. But when a sister say, I can't find housing, shut up, bitch.
Right.
You all kind of names.
You all on the system.
It's your fault you got so many kids.
System. You all up in the system and shit. Stop having all them babies with all these people, and then your life will get right. All that old goofy shit. But you got immigrants coming over here with 3 or 4 kids, getting $1,200 a month per person in the family.
Right. That's right.
Come on, man.
Plus $9,000 in housing.
Listen.
And our men, listen here. Black men are going to be blamed if you don't vote for Kamala Harris and she don't. And even though it ain't got nothing to do with that, because the Electoral College is the deciding vote. It don't matter who win the popular vote. The Electoral College and that shit is crazy. But Black men are already being demonized in the media for not supporting her, for thinking that somebody dare support Trump. Now, I'm going to go back to what I was saying because it's important. It's a big issue for me. She pushes in California. She was the first. She's proud of it. Not only was she the first one to marry 2 women, but she was the first state to say, if you commit a crime, man, and you decide that you're a woman, you can now get state-funded transition surgery, state-funded hormones, and we will put you into a female prison. I also sent you the video. I don't even make video. I be trying to stay off of social media, but I had to make a video about it because Ketanji Jackson, again, that Black woman, when she went to the Supreme Court, they asked the bitch, what is a woman? And she said, I can't tell you that. I ain't a biologist. What do you mean? You either a man or you a woman. That's not a hard question to answer, but they erasing femininity and masculinity because they are emerging this new group. And so when you go to prison, even if you have been convicted of rape and child rape and sexual abuse, if you decide your name is Denise the next day and you want to be a woman, you can go to the female prison. It ain't a separate prison for the trans. You don't see women who are transitioning to be men trying to box Floyd Mayweather. You don't see women transitioning to be men begging to be in the male's prison. Brittany Grenier, when she was in Russia, she begged them not to put her in the male's prison.
Yeah,
But
well, she
you
came
come over
home
here talking
talking
about
about
calling
I'm
you
the pop.
pops.
I got that right here. She now, you know, it's funny how they did that, because when I made that comment about her, I was attacking black women. All right, I made a comment about her standing up for the national flag, for the American flag, and things of that nature. She get caught up over in Russia, and when she comes back, I made a poster like, I bet you she'll start standing up for the flag now. Now she's crying at the Pledge of Allegiance, and I'm sorry, the national anthem. But then they asked her the other day or some time ago, something about the status of her and her relationship with her wife and this and this and that. It says Brittany Star Griner does not want her newborn to call her mom. She's pops. So at what point, you know, the Boulay was calling me. I'm talking about the leaders in Cincinnati, a few of them that don't watch the show, so they say. They gonna come on my post line when I said something about Brittany Griner and this situation and her getting locked up, and now she's free because America gave up a arms dealer for her. I said, I bet you she'll stand up for the national anthem now. And they came at me and said, I know you better stop attacking black women. That's what's wrong with black men. It turned into I'm hating black women because I made that comment about somebody that don't even see themselves as a black woman.
She don't even identify as a woman.
So that's what I'm saying.
But she would lose her income if she came all the way out. She would not be eligible for the WNBA.
Well, she might not
but
now. She might not now, because think it. If they have their way in America with all this identifying yourself as something, you can't play in the WNBA if you consider yourself to be a man. The law works against you.
That's why you need to look at Vice President nominee Walz. Walz is so motherfucking dangerous. He is making it legal to be a pedophile.
I got to show you something. I got to show you something. You were talking about something that was hot. I got 30 seconds left on the show. I got to show you this. This is a brother in Philadelphia on another show. Another show filmed it. All right. But this is a brother who's in the streets of Philadelphia where there are illegal immigrants in this city. And listen to what he says about what they're getting. And brother ain't tripping. He ain't no paid dude. You could tell he a street dude. He just happened to be out there and he overseen something. Check it out.
I'm in the store, $200, man, trying to make groceries just to, make it till we get paid for something for the kids to eat after school. Immigrant in front of me, and she got $10,000 on her food stamp card with $3,000 cash. Come on, man, but I work every day to pay my taxes for here, man. For them to get all that there, man, I'm not knocking nobody in their hustle, man. But, man, stop taking my money again. People, I understand if you gave it to some people in our community that really, really man. But instead, y'all sending money to Ukraine, billions of dollars. But you got people over here that need that same thing. Man, well, I'm trying to figure out how can I get $10,000 worth of food stamp. What, I gotta go back to Africa, they say? Man, stop it, man. Hey, man, this right, man. Stop taking my tax, man, doing what you want to do, man. Then they gonna say, oh, I'm wrong because I'm talking about border control. Here, it seems like I need to go work on the border, try to make some extra money to come up off something, man. Because, hey, man.
Listen, it's real out here, sis. They starting to have cameras in the hood of how we are being looked over, walked over, treated different, and they're giving money to people that have not put the time and the work in.
You need to stay on longer because there is not a lot of masculine voices. You have all these brothers yelling and screaming and hollering when they don't get their way in conversations or who just outright lie and hang up on you. You need to stay on longer. That's why your show important, because we have men turning into, you can't turn into a woman, but they're being emasculated because they're so afraid of Donald Trump. Donald Trump is saying he's going to put death to the sex traffickers. He's going to put death to the drug dealers. He's going to put death to the child rapists. That's his policy platform. People need to look and investigate instead of being all scared about Project 2025. His agenda is Agenda 47. And I'm not saying it's no better. I'm just saying the scare tactic that they use is making some of these niggas shit on themselves.
And
instead of standing up and being men, and doing what you're doing, develop your community. If we boycotted Kroger's tomorrow, where are you going to the grocery store at? You sitting up trying to fight fake wrestlers talking about protect black women, but the black woman who run in your city, who consistently has run for council, you got every foul name in the book to call her. You got every foul thing to say about her. Every time a sister call in and say, hey, we suffer from domestic violence and femicide in our community. I know somebody that fucked her. I know somebody that was with her before. She a freak. Yeah, it's absolute bull. And I'm telling you, we in trouble because that next generation of young men, they seeing these men, that's not their mamas raising them like that. That is because they're seeing other men who can't control themselves, who are not masculine in the technical sense of masculinity, protection, economic development, strength, and strong. If I can't come to you for a job, I can't really look to you to lead. I'm not going to call you a leader.
Thank you. Because this is my question, Marquetta. You will appreciate it. All those dudes that talk all that old shit about they defending our communities and all that old shit, don't none of them employ nobody.
And they got no money.
That's what I'm saying.
Got no money.
That's what I'm saying. They got to find the space to be relevant. So why not talk about the troubles? Why not talk about the things? Let's make it's selective outrage. It's like
the police is nobody to play with. The police is nobody to play with. That brother said, I can't breathe. Nigga, that ain't nothing to play with. People actually die like that. Don't put yourself in a position where you lose your freedom and you can lose your life for some clout chasing bullshit ass issue when we got all this other stuff that we have to fight for. Are you kidding me? I'm so offended.
You must listen to the show. You must listen to the show, sis.
Later, more often.
Well,
I'm sorry.
My time. No, no need to apologize. My time. If I had the time, if I was making a living at this, I would do video after video and I would do it all day because I know there's a space and a need for it. But I'm not the only one out here. I've built a lot of confidence in what I say now, sis, because at first I thought I was in a crowded room all by myself. You feel what I'm saying to you? Sometimes I felt like I was in a room. My market is tough. The city of Cincinnati is tough. It's been a Democratic city its whole life since I can remember. And the people that live in the city, they all follow pretty much march to the same beat. No offense to everyone. I'm just being honest. Look at who I have to deal with. Look at what I have to deal with when I'm trying to tell you some of the truth that I incur, the things that I see, the things that I've been seeing. And for some odd reason, I become the enemy. I become the guy that you don't want to really hear it from. Like I told you, Marquetta, there was a show on Saturday. I enjoyed it. I normally don't watch the show because of, the narratives that's pushed, but I enjoyed the show on Saturday. However, I have to be, I enjoyed the show on Saturday, but they weren't saying anything different than I've been saying for 4 years over here because they were talking about money. But it was like the invention of the car when that lady was over there talking about getting to the money and all that old shit. And we've been talking about that for 4.5 years over here. And it's like those people won't even watch my show because they don't like how I deliver the message. And I keep saying this, sis, when we fall out of love with the truth, we open the door for deception. And I don't know if people really understand what that truly means. But when you have fake leaders and your leadership is bad, they will convince you that what is going on is against you. They will convince you that their way is the only way. Now, if you really think about that, those are the same people that say that MAGA and them guys over there are in a cult, but they don't look in the mirror when they talk about cult behavior. Because when somebody can convince you that this lady locked up a bunch of black men because they were guilty, you couldn't say that about Joe Dieters and black people in Cincinnati, now could you, without them giving you some blowback? So why would you
think that people is supporting Joe Biden, who's 3 crime bills, over incarcerated? Today, you can't find a black man who ain't spent 30% of his life in prison.
And listen,
that come from Joe Biden's policy.
Listen, sis, on that same note, I'm sorry, I got to interrupt you because I will forget I'm old. On that same note, how could you say that people that support that, my thing, that makes my point even stronger. They totally ignored that. They totally ignored what involvement he had into that. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I didn't ignore it. And Kamala Harris had gangs. They had gangs. The police was out. They were gangs. They had tattoos on their arms. They was gangs. They was running around California terrorizing Black people. That not everybody. They weren't terrorizing everybody. It was terrorizing Black people. Okay, they was over incarcerating Black people. She chose to target parents of truant children when she could have prosecuted Steve Mnuchin and One West Bank, who was part of that debacle in 2008 that wiped out 230 years of Black home ownership equity in this country.
It was the property that they went up. They knew what they were doing out there.
They knew what they was doing. That's how you know she about to be president, because she let him off. That's how you know it's already written. She's gonna be president.
Why do you think Oakland is demised the way it is right now?
Oakland look a damn mess, and it's been an ethnocide. The Venezuelans don't see Black people as they people. You're a mayete, a little bug. Africans don't see Black people as Africans. They see you as a kata, wild animals. Okay. And this whole, we all gotta, support this and we got to support them because the immigrants and all that. Put yourself first. Put your Black politics first. I wouldn't care if it's a Republican or a Democrat. Whoever riding with me, I'm riding with them. Whoever got the best policy for me, I'm riding with them. Yes, I pay taxes. Everybody in this country is a tax slave. We're indebted to the tax system.
Absolutely.
and the deficit. There is no escaping that. And so if that's the case for that next generation of children, speak out for them. Don't be speaking out for them other people who actually killing our people. They target our people when they moved into Oakland. They targeted Black people and pushed them out. So Oakland used to be a Black neighborhood. Now it's no longer that. And now most of the Black people in California are homeless. You have $24 billion spent on homelessness in California, and they still homeless. And that's the thing about the Democrats. The Democrats, money, they know how to tie that money up in these word salads. That's why you can't get a straight sentence out of her. She got a word salad for you. It's always, I'm unburdened by what has been, because your people wasn't enslaved. You didn't go through Jim Crow, red line, and the drug deals and all of that. We did not give ourselves crack cocaine. That came through the Iran-Contra affair. The government gave us dope. And I'm gonna end with this. For Luther Campbell came in from the Caribbean with a different type of hip hop. It was so degenerate that Madam C.J. Walker, Betty Shabazz begged him to stop. You're dehumanizing women. He went to the Supreme Court and demanded the right as free speech for strippers to have sex during his performances, for him to say all manner of evil on records, just put a sticker on it. Luther Campbell is a Caribbean, and their culture is, we line dance, okay? We line dance, we hip hop dance, we disco, we actually dance. They will fall from the top of a building and crash onto a woman's vagina and hump and call that dancing. We are not the same as everybody else. We are Black Americans. We fought to call ourselves Black. Before that, we was colored, we was niggers, we was all these other names. Black people took pride. We the only people on this planet who took pride in being Black and took pride in our natural hair. We not skin bleaching. We're not burning off the top layer of our skin. And we don't identify Indian people as Black. Kamala Harris is Indian. She's not a Black woman. They're using her and us as pawns while ignoring the very real needs of Black women in this country. Like I'll be talking about our femicide rate, but the biggest issue you're going to see is our homelessness. Cincinnati is a slum. They incentivize slumlords. They're pushing they're going to change the whole demographic of the city to keep it demographic, to keep that demographic vote and Democratic. You understand what I'm saying? It's really sick. And Trump's First Step Act released people who were over incarcerated by Joe Biden's crime bills. It was Trump who said, I'm not going to allow y'all to handcuff women to the beds while they're in labor. Angela Stanton.
No, that's in jail. Be clear, in jail, so people know what you're talking about. You're talking about in jail.
Right. When they in jail and they go into labor and you're a prisoner, they put the handcuffs on you, even when you're in labor. Right. It was Trump who said stop doing that. It was Trump who backed Jesse Jackson's presidential candidacy in the 80s. So to demonize him and turn him into this racist now because white males, they feel emasculated too. White males feel that isolation in America too, where everybody think they demons. And like I said, These brothers who be pushing all that racism talk, they don't mean that shit because you go to work every day with a white man. You enjoy the white man's entertainment. When Sid, this wrestler Sid, when he just died, they crying their eyes out. They love the Ultimate Warrior, who was a white nationalist and Republican. So cut that out about how much it's a white man that said it. That's why. No. And we got to wake up. We have to wake up. We have to get into group investment. We have to start talking about different ways for us to make money and create job opportunities. Jose and them is not giving you no job. Ming Lee and them is not going to let you work in their hair store too much longer. Okay, they're not, if you can't go into your community and find employment amongst your own, you're not going to find employment. That time is now. We have to have men who gathering their resources together and who actually building something.
There you go.
Okay, I'm done.
And that's what we're doing. That's what I'm doing. That's what some of us are actually doing. It's just funny. It's weird because the people that yelled aloud is not everybody, Marquetta, is cutting checks. You know, they got a lot to say about who's taking over and who's running shit, but I don't see a lot of them cutting checks. I see them looking for opportunities to get a check from the rhetoric and some of the things that they saying. But I've always had this strong opinion, and it took me a lot of time to build the confidence to be able to say it on the air because I didn't want people to say anything bad about me or feel a certain way about me. But yeah, I used to not say things like, you ain't cutting checks out here. You ain't moving the needle. You ain't doing nothing. You just talking. You ain't helping nobody get employed. You're not putting anybody in an apartment. I'm sorry.
I gotta bring it up to you. So when the George Floyd riots went on, I had a girlfriend who lived in Seattle with her child. She said she couldn't come out the house for a month because it was the rioting was so off the chain. She couldn't get to the grocery store. She couldn't walk to the store. They was basically prisoners in their home because the men outside the community was burning the city down. Same thing that was happening in the Tim Walls. They let it happen. They let the communities be burned down by anarchists or people who was just frustrated and protesting. And these people, when they frustrated and they protest, I get it. I don't have a problem with protesting. But when you burn down your community, where are the women and children supposed to get food? How are they supposed to have safety and housing? If you out here talking about don't go to the store, you won't let them go to the store. You threatening them with violence. And the government who's supposed to be protecting you that's what Kamala Harris did. She set up a bail fund for them people so that when they burned down their communities, they would come right back out of jail and go do it again. I'm so sick of it. And excuse my language, I've never given a fuck about what some punk ass Black American got to say about me speaking up because I've seen the effects. I know too many people who were murdered during that whole drug craze. Like you talk about Lisa Huff, that was a certain era.
Yeah,
that was, my cousin Robert Black. His mom just passed away. My auntie was 82 years old. Rest her soul. I'm so impressed by her life journey. But Ricardo Maxwell,
I do.
Them my people. They're my people. So I can't. I'm not sitting up trying to argue with no man on the internet, and don't think they don't come in my inbox trying, because I got family that will really put their hands on you and not care nothing about doing no time. I don't get into those type of arguments. But I don't mind speaking up and speaking out. And you are one of the few men in the city that's saying, look, this is economic development. This is what I did to make money. This is how we can make some more money. Let's get some group investments together. You have an opportunity in Shreveport, Louisiana, as Black males to say this is Black town, not Chinatown, not Indiatown, not Jewtown. This is Black town. When you come here, every business is going to be operated by a Black man that bounced that dollar once or twice amongst Black men. And the men that can take care of their kids.
56% of Shreveport is Black. 56. Okay. Only 37% is white. So, I mean, I've been looking for an opportunity where I see other people with the same mindset that want to go and build in these areas, not people that you have to convince. Okay. Because if you have to convince them, they'll be great one day. By next week, when shit start getting tough, they'll fall off. I've been dealing with that my entire life. So you have to get like-minded people. If you're the type of person that just wants to kind of procrastinate, there's a group of people for you. If you're a real life go-getter, there's a group of people for you. If there's a lot of if you're just a shit talker, there's a group of people for you. If you're just a person that just wants to sit back and spectate, there's people for you. There's a group for every people. I just think that we all need to find our group and lay in it. All right, just stay there and be cool with everybody. Marquetta, I gotta go. I'm at the top of the hour, babe.
I appreciate you hearing me out.
I appreciate you.
Come back on later.
Yeah, we'll do it again soon. All right, peace and love to you. That's Marquetta, man. She's down in Texas now. Another one that put them, made a move and did what she had to do to make her life better. I hope it's working out for her. It sounds like it is. All I'm saying to you is this, folks. Opportunity is there. Don't let your mind play tricks on you that somebody didn't put in your head. The opportunity is always there. Peace and love to everybody. Thanks for coming to the after show.
I stood alone in my four-cornered room staring at candles. Are we on the radio, dudes? Well, give it to me. At night I can't sleep, I'm tossing and turning. I still got the candlesticks burning. It ain't changed, but it's a different time. And I'm still playing tricks with my mind. My mother's always stressing that I'm living wrong, but I got my Smith & Wesson cause I'm getting grown. And they're looking at your little boy's success. And I've been thinking, I'm dealing with too much stress. So I stay up on my P's and Q's and watch out for the G's and fools. Cause the homies that I thought I had see me stacking up a grip and they just started talking back. So I stay away from outsiders. And when I roll through, it makes them open their mouth wider. I used to think that you was my one and only homie. My mind was playing tricks on me. My mind was playing tricks on me. Yeah. Get up. Dear Diary, I'm having a little problem with my mind state. How many bullets would it take to change my mind? Wait, sometimes I wanna end it, but I don't though. They tell me see my pastor, but I don't go. Cause they all be on this one street. So I take it on myself to thank him one deep and give my money to the most needy, and never put it in the hands of the most greedy. Cause they're putting a price tag on the man's word, and it's a fashion show, so the men flirt. The world is ending, so they try to make us switch fast. And they opening up these churches for some quick cash, and using the money for their new cribs. While Brother Johnson just got kicked out where he lived. I follow no man, cause man beat folk. My mom was playing tricks on me. My mama's playing tricks on me. Yeah. Day by day it's more impossible to cope. I feel like I'm the one that's doing dope. Can't seem to keep my mind on a steady track. I'm all about getting mine, so I study that. But it seems they want to get it. So I try to keep my 9mm with me, just in case they want to see your homie's head flown. But I gotta stay around to see my kids grown. I finally found a woman who could deal with me. Back then I had a girl who wasn't real with me, and now she's back with her old lady. And now I got it going on, and they sure hate me. Now I'm a gone and she's a loner. Yeah, her mom was playing tricks on her. One time for your motherfucking mind. Bringing it back like this here. 1991 all the way to the 1994, and they call me Face. Yeah, her mom was playing tricks on me.